And we're here. We're back. Just gonna close that.
Yeah, my sound's on. Yeah, everything's alright, so I'm not sure why it's mute.
Oh.
Alright.
You're alive, by the way.
We are. So then.
Hello.
When we last left our intrepid heroes, they were trying to find the holy relics, the holy bones that had been stolen from the chapel, and ran into a little bit of trouble after some vampire crate rodeo, an awkward pile upon Reister, and a very close call for Sir Alan. Our heroes managed to dispatch a small hive of vampires.
Yeah.
And that is where we will pick up now. If I can find the Coffin Maker's map. There it is.
It's probably on the sea, as in coffin maker.
You'd think I would have this,
Set up in such a fashion, yeah.
Yeah, but no. I don't have it in alphabetical order.
Well,
by any means.
I've got music now.
Oh, Henrik's managed to come up in the meantime. Took him 2 weeks.
He's an old man, let him be. And I forgot the voice I gave him. So then.
You basically do need a little bit lower, I believe. Your regular old man voice.
So he's come up the stairs, and you notice that he has a carpenter's hammer in his hand. He looks around the room. He sees the splatters of blood, the general disarray, and the fact that Irina is just on the ground, just sitting, rubbing her head. What happened up here?
Just don't ask.
Yes, I think that's be the best policy.
Well,
That's nothing.
It was a bit of a wild ride.
already did ask. And quite frankly,
Well,
I'd like to know.
Basically,
We noticed you had a few surplus corpses. Let me clean them up.
yes, a few your guests have disembarked.
All of them?
yes, all of them.
All kinds of them.
Yes, how many were there?
I only saw 3, but I knew there were more.
There were
That's
barely
certainly the law.
6.
He just kind of like closes his eyes in relief and nods. Alright.
But if you want to, we can check the crate they were resting in.
I'll let you do that.
Which crate haven't we checked?
Let's see. You.
By the door, I think.
Let's see.
Yeah.
There was one in here. There was one
Yeah.
in here. There. There. And this crate is no longer there. You still have it currently pressed up against the window,
It's up
and
there,
trickles of dust are now falling from it.
Yeah, we should probably first look. Wait, in that there was one.
There was
We
one
got
that's
that.
now under the window beside Reister.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
It's a little bit dusty up here.
well, all 6 of them were in this area, so it's only really this one here and here.
I can't see. I didn't see the first. You mean up down here and up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, in one of the crates, probably the remains are.
Alright. This crate here that you can see, that is too small to contain an adult vampire.
I would still check. I don't want any baby vampires.
I'm going to help Irina up.
Alright, she accepts your hand and stands up. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, alright, how's your neck?
It's a bit sore, but not such a pain in the neck as that last vampire.
She kind of reaches out and like turns your head to the side to double check on it. You know, it seems to have worked with potions, so that's one thing. Come on. Do you really want to open that without backup, Reister?
I would appreciate at least Mornick being here, given how much of an impact she had on that one vampire.
Yes, Arena looks over at the hole in the floor over here.
It's a dent.
I'm also tricky to bite.
Yeah. Well, in that case, let's just check what's inside. Box number 1.
Alright then, so you pull this one open, Sir Lane and Zabornak ready to stab at whatever's in there, and you find it full of nails.
Well, at least no nasty surprises here. Unless you want to get a wound from nails. Henrik, would you mind letting us pass? Please.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And then we take the big crate, the other one's probably way too small.
The big one, it is a sizable crate, however, this one is still hammered sealed. So it's got nails around the length of it.
Let's pry it open.
Henrik,
Find the prize inside.
mind if we open this crate?
That's been sitting there for some time. It's got copper plates in it for nameplates.
Would you mind if we double check?
By all means.
Well, in that case, we pry it open.
I would need you to make a strength check because this one is properly sealed.
Lovely.
And what are you using to pry it open with?
I'm using I'm using one of the wood logs that are around here.
You wouldn't get that in between.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm using my longsword, my regular longsword. Shove it into the crack and use that
Alright.
as a lever.
As you manage to lever it open, it's slow going and you can hear the creaking and you're slightly concerned about the strength of your sword. But as you manage to cope it open, your nostrils are assaulted by the smell of oil as you peer in.
Well, at least they didn't oxidize.
Yeah, as you look in, you can see that it is indeed full of copper plates, partially engraved with decorative linings, but each copper plate seems to be wrapped in a small bit of oiled cloth to keep them safe.
It's the coffers!
I beg your pardon, Dwarf.
I said nothing.
Okay. Well, then we should check this small box if it's easy to open.
The small box is lying open, and inside you see just a few bits of cut off scrap wood.
Odd. We should probably check the other crit, so at least we know we have no guests to expect. Now we should probably look for the remains that they were trying to desecrate.
They stored them in my bedroom, just across the hall. He points across the hallway. You'll find them in there. I needed to calm my nerves. And Henrik goes downstairs.
Well, in that case, we should probably go and look for him.
Okay.
Indeed.
And try not to make a mess.
Yeah, go ahead. I like fast share.
Arena, wanna come?
Yes, I'm coming. I just had visions of flying potatoes again.
Yeah, they're a pest around here.
Yes. Flying potatoes, wrestling turtles.
Yes, it's a bad world.
Arena just kind of joins Zabornak resting in the small sitting room. Okay, as you come into this modest best chamber, you see that there is a small cot against the far wall and a few bits of furniture. Looking around, you see these are very well made, as to be expected in the house of a carpenter.
Yeah.
There's a
And
small
everything's
bookshelf, table, chair, and a wardrobe.
and a goosey wardrobe.
Alright.
And I just browsed the books in the shelf.
I want you to
Shelf.
roll me an investigation check for the bookshelf and the wardrobe. Okay.
Boring books about woodworking. Woodworking for dummies. More woodworking for dummies. How to slay a dragon. More woodworking. Planes and how to use them.
You do find one small book that has a bookmark in it called Tusk Love. But anyway, Sir Lane, you open the wardrobe and you notice there's just a few sets of work clothes. There's one set of nice Sunday best. Other than that, you don't see anything else in here.
I check under the bed.
You looking under the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. As you look under the bed, you see absolutely nothing.
Come on, I can see in darkness. At least something is there.
You think you see something, then you realise it's just a dust bunny.
I'm gonna try and look behind the wardrobe.
Behind the wardrobe.
Yeah.
Roll investigation again.
I just sit on the bed and mope.
You lean around behind the bookshelf and... not the bookshelf, sorry, the... I just knocked things over. Oh.
Wardrobe.
Behind the wardrobe, and you realise that the depth of the wardrobe doesn't seem consistent with the side of the wardrobe. You open the door up and you look back in, and you realise that there appears to be a compartment at the bottom of this.
So this is probably where
In the back.
Yeah, it's
Because
on
if it's
the
in the
floor.
bottom.
It's in the
Can I
bottom.
take a check, Rasta?
Well, you can see it. Now that you've actually, now that you have sized this up from the side and looking back in, you know that there is probably about half a foot of a compartment in the bottom of this.
Oh, a false
You can see
bottom. I
small
actually missed
crease
that.
in the back that you can wedge your
that's
finger
tough.
into.
You want to go in? Have a go at it?
Certainly. Okay, so I'm going to try and open it.
Alright.
Well, given that I look a little bit worse for wear.
You manage to wiggle in your ring finger, and you pull open the very flush wooden panel at the bottom of the wardrobe, and inside you find 2 sacks. There's a
So
rather
pull them
large
out.
one and a rather small one.
Pull both of them out so we can have a look, just in case.
Okay. Which one do you want to look into first?
I'd save the larger one first.
Okay. You cradle the sack in your arm, undo the drawstring, and peer in, only to be met with the empty eye sockets of a skull.
Looks like we found the bones then, eh?
I believe so. Shall we take a small attack?
Yeah. Just in case something's amiss.
Okay,
The
so
small
open up
one
the small.
fits in your hand, and as you open it up, you hear the jingle of coins.
Savings. Just go put it back.
Yeah, just put it back. I steal from the wealthy, not those who need help.
So we put it back, we put the panel back, and we got the bones.
You guys are so honest, it's glorious. Usually the people I play with steal fucking everything.
It's one of my ideals. I steal from the wealthy so that I can help people in need.
I'm a paladin, I'm not allowed to steal.
So I kind of can't see an arsehole.
That depends on your deity.
Depends
There are
on
some
your immoral
deities
powers.
that share Reister's ability, where it should be taken from the hoarding wealthy and given to the poor, but again, it depends on your deity. So, you
I'm not sure it can be a Karl Marx paladin, to be fair.
there is
Well-
one of the Tabaxi gods is basically like the Khajiit ideal where wealth should be redistributed. If
Fair enough.
if you cannot protect your wealth on your own, you must hire others or it will be taken. Either way, your money goes back into the basic economy.
Yeah, it definitely had its own feel.
So
Fair enough.
Well, I think we should probably dress this larger back up, put it somewhere where it's not easily seen.
I'm gonna. I'll put it in my bag.
Zbornak, want to take care of those bones?
Not the first and not the last. Just get them over.
Fair enough.
If you would conceal them a little bit, that would be really nice.
Of course. I wasn't born yesterday.
well, they're in a plain
No.
burlap sack.
Go watch it again.
Yeah, but I kind of expect a surprise to await us as soon as we leave. Just call it a hunch.
I don't know what you're implying.
I am implying nothing. Well, in that case, we should probably let him know we're out here, everything's said and done, and he can reopen his shop. Do you all agree?
I'd say so.
I don't see why not.
Best. Well,
All right.
let's go then.
There was a joke I remember I rolled my eyes, but I can't remember what joke it was now.
That was quick.
Are you coming, Zbornak?
Well, they just want to make their
Alright.
leave success.
I'm stuck on the stairs.
Mind your shell.
Thank you.
What's your
I'll
head?
scuff its character.
Okay. So you hear the rattle of a cup of tea in this room. So Henrik has gone back to the tea that you interrupted earlier on. Did you find what you were looking for?
Yes, we did.
Yes, and we will be of no trouble for you.
Good. I think I deserve some peace.
Certainly. Enjoy your tea. It's always important to appreciate a good cup of tea.
As you walk past Erling, he kind of grabs you by the elbow.
Yeah.
Will you tell Father Lucian I'm sorry?
I will.
Thank you.
Probably to allow him to be in his own show.
He just goes and sits back down again.
Oh. Well, maybe
Right, time to head back to the church.
before the event?
Yes, I'd say so. Arena? You stay?
yes, I'm here. Sorry, just thinking.
Things have been a little bit unusual lately.
No,
Just.
if I move the players too. I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah,
So
that's the same problem I had last time with my game.
head outside and you're now standing in the stop doing that. Oh my god.
In the works, yes.
No, I'm trying to scroll over for Specutator, but every time I try to grab the bar, the taskbar pops up. Okay, so you find yourself back at the courtyard of the not courtyard, the storage yard. The general shop is across the way. You've just come out of the coffee maker.
Yeah.
Zbornik casts a very irritated glance towards the wagon, the colourfully coloured wagon. And do you just head
Let's-
straight to the church?
Let's head to the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
try not to stand out too much. I know it's a little bit difficult.
Alright. So, are
Don't
you just
forget to-
heading straight along the main road?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I don't want to leave poor Siegbald waiting too long.
Well, that's up to Siegbald. Does Siegbald want to have come to the church looking for them, or is he still passed out drunk in the bar?
Now for most of them,
Bar. Sorry.
Typical dwarf.
That's racist. actually racially stereotype like this.
Okay, let's get the show on the road.
What show? It's not a show. It's just a show. It's just a tale.
It's an old Galabrian expression.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but that wasn't meant to happen until I...
You
So
would
then,
think
you
you're
find
wrong.
Father Lucian is tending towards the altar again.
Yeah, that was a bug.
Afternoon, Father.
Oh, Sir Lane, you've returned.
Indeed,
What's
and
news?
we have bones.
You do?
I thought it was strange when...
Yes.
He kind of runs over to you and he holds his hands out expectantly.
Zvonak, would you be so kind?
Yep. Here's your rattle.
And Father Lucian, Henrik admits he took the bones, but he did have his reason.
I think we can tell them what happened there. It was
Yes.
extortion. He was being forced.
Forced by
I don't know. I don't know, but he was forced to house 6 vampires.
Vamp? You see him bless himself.
I say, don't worry. They were a little more than a pain in the neck.
Did you?
We expunged them. We expunged.
Like I said, when I say they were just a little pain in the neck, I point to my neck and indicate the bite.
Well, but no, they're pretty much a weight off our shoulders.
We saw the place needed a good dusting and we took care of that.
He
That's the way to.
looks over your wounds for a moment. And let me see if I can find it. Church. There he is.
Just pour some holy water over it, it'll do fine. I heard it's an old test.
Huh, he doesn't actually have a cure weapon. A cure thing. I thought he did. He has lesser restoration, but that doesn't heal health, I don't think.
No.
Oh,
No, it does not.
remove conditions.
Oh.
Nah, put some garlic on it, it will be fine.
So he reaches over and he just kind of places his hand on your neck and says, you'll forgive me for being safe, I'm afraid.
Don't worry about it.
Was anyone else bitten by these creatures?
No, I was the only one.
They tried.
Well, one weighed me down, but they never got to this neck.
Small blessings, I suppose. I'm afraid I can't offer you much in the way of healing, but just give me a moment and I'll restore these to their place and then you can speak further. See, he heads around behind the altar and kneels down out of sight. You hear the creak of wood as he lifts up part of the floor and returns the bones to their resting place, all while muttering prayers.
Okay, I don't see what he's doing exactly.
You can't see what he's doing, but you can see his head and you see him muttering prayers. He
Yeah, but
fishes out a little bottle of holy water and flicks it around the altar.
Well, it has been fun, Danny. I will catch you another night.
Okay. But you do hear whispering from behind you.
turn around.
No.
Oh,
See, Irina is kneeling down and talking to Yusha, who has a very relieved look on his face. Yes. Well, that should restore the protections. I'll need to perform a few more rituals, but I can do that very easily. And tell me, what of Henrik?
Henrik's fine, a little shaken up, and he does want to repent for what he's done, but for now he needs a little bit of rest.
Very well. I'll go and visit him later this evening before the night falls. His house may need to be consecrated if vampires are around. You don't want them coming back in.
Better safe than sorry.
I'm just wondering who let them into the walls of this town.
I don't know. It could have been anyone.
Yes.
Are you trying to bribe the DM with a muffin? That's my
No, I
chocolate
don't.
orange.
I do not have any muffins, although I cannot rather than yeah. Plus, they would be rather stale when they arrive at your doors.
That's true.
True. No, Teddy just came and handed me a muffin before he left the room. Alright, so then. Oh yes, I did promise you a reward, didn't I?
I believe Sir Elaine needed a few more vials of holy water,
Indeed.
and
Yes.
that is all we request.
He holds his hand out, indicating our door behind you. Says, while you were away, I made a few more. I gave you most of my stock, but now that the bones are returned, I can give you a few more I have spare.
Thank you, Father.
Excuse me. Just kind of nudges past you. Just give me a moment. You hear him rattling around. Yisha looks up at you, Sir Lane, and gives you a little shy wave.
I'll wave back
Smile on
too.
his face.
And are your studies going well?
Yes. Father Lucian is teaching me how to read.
Always worth
great.
knowing. Very useful skill.
He was a little mad, but you were right. He wasn't as mad as I thought he would be.
Told you.
I have to clean out the altars, incense burners for the next month, but that's okay. I can do that.
Oh, there you go. So you nothing to worry about.
Yes, he learned his lesson, didn't you, boy? And you see nods and has a little shy smile again. Yes, well, he was worried I would turn him out on the street, but I'd never do that to him. Now then, here you go. This is what I can spare for the moment. He hands
Thank
you
you, Father.
2 more vials of holy water and another vial of red liquid.
Ah, thank you very much, Father.
Potion of healing, eh?
Yes. I'm afraid it's all I have to spare at the moment.
It's quite alright. I fear we may need to call upon you again before our mission here is completed.
You're always
Seeing
welcome.
seeing how we used up some of your holy water, deal with those uninvited guests, yeah.
Well, there's more than we paid. As I say, once I've completed these rituals, the protection around this building will be returned, and I won't need as much as I thought I did, and I can always create more. Well, it's a lengthy process, but it can be done.
Well, it's very much appreciated, Father.
And it is appreciated for you. Thank you very much. He just puts he makes a visual blessing over your party.
All in a day's work, young man.
I am not a young man anymore, but I suspect in comparison to you, I might be.
Yes, it's all relative.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Other than possibly, no, I think we've taken up enough of your time now.
Very well. Go in peace and walk always in the light of the morning, Lord.
And you also.
Thank you. I will tend to matters that need to be tended to. Yisha, I expect you to finish that work before I'm done here. Yes, Father. Bye. He ducks back
Bye.
into his room.
That's a good kid.
He
It's
sees
going to
you.
go very well.
And a child worthy of your hard candy, I will.
Definitely.
Always good to step out and stretch a little.
That is true.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think I need a rest.
We should probably return, yes. We should probably return and see what our compatriots have done.
Alright. You make your way along the road. Elaine's Arena seems to be in slightly higher spirits. She's a little smile on her face.
Well, seeing what we've done, that we've done good in the world, I see no reason why she shouldn't.
Is there any conversations or anything you'd like to do before you arrive back at the inn?
I'll just look at the go. I probably think we should mention to the others that we basically just killed 6 vampires.
Ez might be getting a little bit jealous.
What kind of day is it? I figure we have the meeting coming up in the evening.
By this stage now, it is probably near dinner time, so around 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I figured we should also prepare once we get back to meet that bard and make sure that his animal is taken care of.
Yep.
I doubt that he's just righteous. He talks, but he says very little. Which reminds me of someone I know.
What's enough about yourself?
Okay, so just give me a sec. I want to make sure I don't have any random things scattered about the place. No, there we are. Okay, so then. You return to the inn. If I can find
The inn.
Alright. Okay. Arena kind of grabs Reister and Sir Lane. I think you may need to wash off on the well before you go in.
That could be an idea.
Yeah.
She points at just the blood smeared all over Sir Lane.
Well, it's not blood, it's also all the dust.
Okay.
Head over.
It's his own blood, darling.
Yes. And I pull up a bucket and wash it off everything off myself. Need to change my clothes.
I think that's what we do.
Little feet dusting to polish the shell.
I've got most of the blood out.
Well, should probably head into our rooms first.
That would be an
After
idea.
all, we would. I think it's preferable to have a little bit of privacy instead of changing out here.
Yes.
One shake of the back of my shell looks okay.
Let me just. Alright.
Irina goes over and just starts dusting some things
Oh,
off.
thank you, dear. That is very kind of you. It's a heck of a time to try to reach back there.
Yeah.
That seems a little understandable. Alright.
Okay.
So, Irina shuffles in. I wonder if Siegbald is still drunk.
He's a dwarf. If he's not drunk, he's angry.
Or try and set things on fire.
Or both.
That's true.
Or all three things.
Once I saw a dwarf who said that he didn't like the way fire looked at him.
And you see Siegbald is in his usual corner. But it's up to Matt if he is awake or not.
He is not.
Should I go and get a pointed stick?
You could just use your dagger for that. Perhaps a jug of water.
On him or in him?
Yes.
Let me just. Danica, may I borrow an empty pint glass? Or a mug?
You're not going to cause any trouble, are you?
Only for our sleeping friend.
Alright. She lifts you up an empty tankard and sets it on. Don't make a mess, or you're cleaning it.
I know.
You're not going to dip his hand in, are you?
No, I said empty. Now I step out, fill the mug with the water from the well. Should be clean and cool. Now I pour a little bit over Siegbald's face. Just a little bit. Good
Are
morning,
you sure you want to
sunshine.
do that? I'm just making sure.
I'm moving out of arm's reach.
Probably shouldn't. But hey, after that event,
He's gonna punch you and make you unconscious.
Look how many hit points you have. I can punch you unconscious very quickly.
on second
Begging you,
thought,
don't do this.
on second thought, I'll just put it down in front of him and say, tap him on the shoulder, Siegbald.
That's the correct response. Huh?
You've been missing out on a few trips around town.
Or maybe you've been missing out. Hmm.
Well, I've seen the sights. What have you seen except the inside of a tankard?
I've had a good time away.
Oh, we enjoyed ourselves. We had some steaks.
Yes. Rather high stakes.
We'll go with that.
Good
Yes.
to know.
Yes.
Had some steaks, had some more cold ones.
Yes. Yes.
Just about half a dozen or so.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Zabornik fell through a floor. That was amusing.
Well, almost. Well,
Now that I do regret not seeing.
Don't belt them like they used to.
That's true.
well, we've seen the local church.
So, doing a quick think. Two of you are obviously hurt. Two of you possibly hurt.
Irina's still
Yeah.
looking a little bit disheveled.
I'm just gonna play nice and do this for you.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
So everyone gains 11 hit points back, as well as Danica and I forgot their name.
Richter.
Yeah, Richter. Glad you know it.
Thing is, right now,
Because it's a 6-person requirement.
the thing is, until I have a rest, I won't go beyond the current 14 because of the vampire.
Yeah, you won't get that until you sleep.
Yeah.
But behind the bar, Danica just kind of starts rotating her wrist and goes, Your next drink's on the ass.
The circle of life continues.
Well. Say, Danica, where's our common friend Ez?
Ez? Oh, her and that grey-skinned girl, they went out. Something about, getting revenge? I don't know what they were doing.
Okay.
That sounds like trouble.
Well, let's just hope.
The redhead was pretty angry about it. The grey-skinned one was trying to calm her down. I don't know where they're gone.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it was raising a storm. I decided to make myself scarce.
That sounds like a huge problem, but I feel strangely compelled not to follow them.
Well, sure, catch them up, or at least find a trail of destruction. The Ed will definitely leave.
Let's just say your
Yeah.
grey-skinned friend is lucky she paid for the damages.
Oh god.
Many years.
Why did I get the feeling fire was involved?
More than likely.
Why do I expect whether always fire is involved? She's a little bit hot-headed.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So then, What are we doing this evening then?
Well, I think we have an appointment.
Yes, that's
Did you say that? Victor seems to be trying to sidle slowly down the counter.
Oh,
my
we have-
friends!
Good evening, young man.
Good evening. You weren't trying to avoid us, were you?
Well, to be honest, your lovely companion does scare me a little bit. You hear Danica giggling and just obviously ignoring the conversation.
There's nothing to be afraid of. At least not for people who treat their pets well.
You promised,
all
darling.
grave diggers.
Just speaking generally here.
Grave diggers?
It's
Oh wait, I gave him this voice, didn't I? Yes.
it's a long story.
Yes.
Well, I do like stories.
Oh.
Does lecherous elderly turtles cover any of it?
Well, they're all usually lecherous elderly in some of my stories, but a turtle is a new one.
Oh, there you go then.
You're not hitting on me, are you? She kind of looks over at Zabornak.
It depends. But for now, no.
Well, if you don't behave, she might be hitting you with a stick.
A throwing stick.
I honestly don't know whether or not to be terrified or excited.
Again,
It's a new
it all
experience.
depends.
It could be a lucky night for both.
Yes, well, it's not quite time to visit my companion. But, as I say, you are welcome to accompany me. As long as you...
Is he telling the truth, or is he telling a boy's lie? Trying to weasel his way out.
Yes, you are. Yes, he is indeed welcoming you to go with him.
He is not lying, however you can tell he would rather do anything else.
Well, would you tell us any of the bard's ways?
What do you mean, my boy? Are you gonna go for a tale?
Myself.
A tale of heroism? A tale of romance?
That's more my friend and I here, point to Rystar, are rather interested in learning more of the bardic arts.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not much of a teacher in that area.
Well, even a little bit of instruction would be useful.
After all, you are a wordsmith.
That is
An acclaimed word.
Well, do you have any affiliation with instruments? Can you sing? Can you play?
Well, I used to sing in choir.
I have been known to tickle the ivories a little bit.
Yes, well, you can't exactly carry a piano into battle, my friend.
Oh, but you haven't heard me on an accordion yet.
And I never intend to.
Do you even have an accordion?
Have you ever heard someone play the accordion?
Yes, and it was horrendous.
Sadly.
Oh, I do have one that used to be my father's. He was very good. And I'm certain you would enjoy that.
Yes, well,
He would not enjoy that. He can clearly tell that I'm telling a lie.
you whip this accordion out of nowhere and just start playing. Now,
Horribly.
because you haven't been really looking after this for a little while, it sounds horrendously out of tune. It squeals and screeches. You can hear these two men over here just clapping their hands over their ears and glaring at you. The two boys under the stairs start hanging themselves laughing.
Well-
Everyone kind of glances out the door to see what's going on, and Dananka just reaches across the counter and puts her hands over yours and says, "I think that's enough, darling."
How will... Look, it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm sorry about that.
This boy over here just grunts, "That was terrible."
They
Shakes his
mean a
head.
while or an eternity.
Erwin returns to the kitchen after his wife just kind of shrugs him away. These two, however, are still hanging themselves laughing. They are well into their cups.
Look at that, you successfully provided entertainment.
Well, not the kind of entertainment I hoped. Maybe I should pick up the flute. Or maybe the lute. Or,
How about the tin whistle? Seems about your speed.
Shall I sing you a song of a terrible man, terrible, terrible, terrible man? He wiped his ass with a frying pan. Terrible, terrible, terrible man.
It's a big ass.
well,
It's very impressive, actually.
why would someone wipe a donkey with a frying pan?
True feat dexterity. Probably.
I don't know, but it's what the sailors back home always used to sing.
Oh, yeah, sailors.
Sailors are special.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just say some of the ones I've heard from sailors are a little bit more lewd. In the corner, Arena blushes.
Don't tell me about it.
Fair then. Are you just going to crowd around me like that?
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
I believe the technical
Why,
term of the
don't you enjoy our company?
Well, let's just say a man can get a little bit nervous when heavily armed people surround him against a corner.
I thought you used to that in your line of work.
Look, it was Bard College and I was curious. There's no need to go into details.
We've all been there one way or another.
That is true.
So just kind of looks over between Reister and Sir Lane. It's like, are you going to ask your friend to back away?
Yes, I've been at it as a black.
I give you my
Alright.
word, I don't intend to break it.
I just go and, linger by the door where nobody can leave.
I'll just sit over here.
Ravicto just kind of turns to Dananka. You cannot use the back door. Not again. He goes, fuck.
boom phrasing.
It was Bard College and he was curious.
I was like, the power of the boss.
I don't know what she's talking about. What are you trying to perceive?
I'll see if we could hear Danica say about the back door.
Well, she said it rather loudly, so
No, fair enough.
she wasn't trying to hide it in any way. Okay. So then, Richard kind of looks over you and says, give it about an hour. I have some things that are cooking now, and then we'll head out.
I was going to write a few things in my journal.
Okay. Irina sits and picks through her bag, arranging a few things. Siegbald, is there anything you'd like to do?
No, I'm pretty good.
Okay. Rystor, is your Barnack?
I'm fine just standing by the door.
I'm just checking all the string and the bell. Listen, it's a little bit. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. Quick question, because I can't remember. Was Siegbald with the party whenever you were playing with the wagon?
No.
Think so.
No.
No. Siegbald was drunk off his arse. Or some other body part.
I was away.
Yeah, he wasn't with us. He was sampling the local goods.
So, Siegbald, as far as you know, these guys are just kind of leaning on the bard, and you have no idea why.
This is just standard for them at this point.
Well, I did say to...
I'm just used to very unusual activities from people I hang around with.
Well, to be fair, we did ask for it to have about teaching us about some bardic skills, so...
Fair.
Siegbald, you look a little bit puzzled.
When it comes to all of you, nothing puzzles me.
I was going to let Squeaky sit on the table in front of him.
Well, can
That I
you
have
see
seen, to be fair.
Well, we've seen a few strange things.
There's now a ghostly rat just kind of sitting on your hand.
Well, Rotigio over here, he is, the proprietor of a little unusual pet.
Alright, we'll just assume over the next few days you've filled Siegbald in. You notice
Yeah.
that Erwin has come out with a small bundle and he's handed over to Devillo and heads back into the kitchen. Boop. And he gets up, polishes off his drink, and gives a very overly dramatic bow to Dananka. She rolls her eyes and then stands up and claps his hands. Well then, I suppose you want to accompany me. We're going to visit
That we
my
do.
little friend. Let us go.
Your little friend, yes.
Yes!
Yes, your little friend. Anyone wanting to come?
I'm coming. I'm interested in this too.
Siegbald?
I actually have other things to do. You also you've forgotten a mouse.
Squeaky?
Siegbald, just don't waste all your money on booze. That's all.
I'm going somewhere to do something different. I'll catch you guys around.
Alright,
Yeah, bad, huh?
Stay safe.
we'll try.
Okay. So,
I'm gonna send a quick, well I say quick, I'm gonna send a very long message.
alright. Well, we'll leak Siegbald there. And head back
Thank you.
to Shaw. Alright, the evening has started to draw in. You can see now, even though the sun hasn't started to go down, there are lights starting to be lit around the town. You can see people getting a little tired, their forced smiles still on their faces as they walk the streets. Guards roaming around. And as you head further on down. Okay, where is your passives? Boop. Okay. That's your AC. What's your passive perception? So then, as you are heading down the road, Dirk, you notice there's a notice board you've passed over a few times. Now has something new on it.
I read it.
You can. Are you going to stop the party?
Should probably do so. You notice here. Should probably take a look.
You pass by, you see this. It wasn't there a few hours ago while you were heading out of town, or heading back towards the church. You can still see the paste that is used to hold it onto the board is still damp.
Attendance and children required. I should have enough depending on the second from any time soon.
Well,
I am not gonna squeeze out an egg for this.
I do not have a child of my own.
I certainly don't.
The blazing sun.
It's not one I've ever heard of.
Well, I guess our friend over here can tell me a little bit more. Long time no see.
Who are you talking to?
Beggar friend from before.
Yeah.
Roll a perception to see if you spot him.
Nope.
You glance up and down the street and you don't see any familiar faces. You don't see your little friend.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
People seem to be going down the street with purpose, either heading home or doing whatever messages they need done before the sun starts to set.
we should get going. I mean, it's not like it's sun for blazing sun.
Looks
Yet.
like it's coming soon.
Wouldn't be surprised it's midday tomorrow.
Why does it sound like a threat to me?
Because it is.
Well, you remember those poor souls we saw in the town centre? I wonder if they're still
Yeah.
there.
Maybe
Unfortunately, that's likely. That's rather likely.
could be useful for meeting this Baron.
Do you want to meet this Baron?
I suspect it could be useful.
I suspect it could be painful. I don't want to see the inside of a cell. Not in this country.
Let's just say, if you lick his boots, you'll be perfectly fine.
Precisely.
Someone speaking of from experience.
Let's just say I've met a lot of men like that.
Uh,
Yeah.
Still, you're speaking of experience.
You just gotta go. Once you enter the stockyard, he kind of skitters off ahead of you and goes to his wagon. He clambers up on top and opens a small hatch at the top. You hear a low growl as he glances around, and you can hear him whisper into it.
What's he saying?
Reister, you don't quite make it out.
None of us do.
Sir Elaine, you're looking around to see if Squeaky's still about the place, but he's not about. Alright, so he pulls out the package that Erwin gave him and pulls out a rather sizable chunk of meat and drops it in. You hear it hit the ground with a wet slap, and the growling turns to a sort of content purr. And Rick Devillo whispers again. He reaches in his hand for a few moments, then pulls it out and closes the hatch again. Okay. Reister and Sephi, what are you attempting to do?
I'm trying to just gauge LB cat sounds.
Okay.
Same.
Alright then.
Because
Reister
it-
heads closer to the wagon, and so does Sir Elaine. They lean in and try and listen for a bit, and you hear the wet slurping and almost dragging noise of the tiger licking and gnawing on the meat. There's a very slight... The creature seems content.
I certainly think it seems happy.
I told you about that. I don't like keeping him here, but I need to.
Would you mind if I have a word with him personally?
What?
Would you mind if I ask him if he's okay?
I suppose if you must?
I would very much like to, thank you.
We're going to have to let you up, aren't we?
Alright. You-
Look, I'm eating. Can you come back later?
Wait, come back later. Who are you talking to?
I mean, I was just impersonating the tiger.
Alright.
Okay, Morning is going to try to clamber up where the bard was a moment ago.
Okay. As you clamber up, he tries to make room for you, realizes you're taking up far too much room, and kind of slips off the side, almost toppling off his feet.
Watch out below.
Just be careful, he's not fans of strangers. Okay. You're now on top of the
just
wagon, and the panel is still slightly open. You glance down, and you see a sandy-coloured creature with large incisors currently spread out across the bottom of the wagon. His front two paws are gripping this chunk of meat, and he's just licking into it.
Excuse me.
He looks up at you.
Sorry.
Mine!
Yes, it is quite yours. I don't want any part of it. I was just wondering, how do you feel?
Hungry. I'm eating.
Yes, but when you're not hungry, how do you feel?
Sleepy. A nap.
Oh,
Stretch.
cats.
Have food. Want
Do
to
you
hunt, but this good.
do you ever get out of this wagon?
Sometimes. Good run.
Is it?
Funny man, let run. Let hunt. But
How
not
do
here.
you feel? How do you feel about the guy?
Bring food. Belly scritches. He good. I like. I eat him last.
Okay, you're definitely a cat. Do you get out of the wagon often? Often enough?
Don't know. Nice to nap. Claws to claw. Let out when let out.
Is it more than like... Is it at least once a day, is what I'm asking.
He kind of blinks at you. How smart is this cat?
What is day?
I can
Have no conception of temporal.
I'm waiting for us to see it, then say yes or no, then yeah, bounce.
Alright, sorry, there's 2 seconds.
No.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. That works.
What?
What?
It looks like Matt is going to be pulling a pike. So he's not going to be available for a little bit, so he's going to go off on his own little adventure for a side
Okay.
point.
Alright.
And come back.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
Alright.
We'll keep you updated on that. Sadly, we've lost half our player base. And not the way I was expecting. So anyway, the cat just kind of blinks at you. And kind of like rolls its shoulders in a shrug. And just goes back to licking its little meat lollipop while trying to keep you in its sight, its peripheral vision.
Okay, I'd like to roll animal handling to see if the tiger looks healthy.
That would be a nature check.
Sorry. Quite right. You are.
Alright. As you glance over this cat, you realize this cat is built like a brick shithouse. It is just complete muscle. It doesn't look like it's been starved, but it looks like it's missed 1 or 2 meals. Its fur seems to be in good health, and he's quite contently licking at his food. You get the impression that if this animal was starving, you wouldn't be able to have this conversation.
Alright.
Okay, this morning is going to clamber down and.
In the meantime, Rictivo and Arena are just kind of watching the turtle sit on top of the wagon and growl and meow into a hole. Arena just kind of leans over to Reister. Is she okay?
Yes, she sometimes does this, and claims she talks to the creatures. I don't know if she truly does, or if it's all just in her head.
What? Alright. Okay. By the way, you guys, I'm not deaf yet. Anyway, he seems to be in good spirits, proper health. You should probably feed him a little bit more often, but I think he seems to hold you in high regard.
Rictivo looks offended. I feed him morning and night. Of course I look after him.
Yeah, well, I get the feeling he could use a little bit more. Just a sliver. Just for your information, I'm trying to help here.
I suppose that's appreciated, but he's my kitty. I look after my kitty, and I get defensive when people say I don't.
I understand that.
As I
Oh,
said,
and,
now that you've had your confirmation, I suppose you'll keep up your side of the bargain?
naturally.
Good. If the Baron, or if any of the guards knew he was here, they would make me go out. They would chase him out of town, they might even kill him, the poor thing.
And that's the furthest from what I would want. Also, here's a recipe for something you can give him in case he gets fleas. They're prone to.
You just hand him a piece of parchment?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
And don't forget to change the litter box at least twice a day. They have large, you know, you have the experience.
I'm very well aware.
Very good then.
So then,
And you guys don't stand so close to the back end. They tend to spray when they want to mark their territory.
Didn't intend to stand too close to the back.
And you might want to move away at least 10 feet. They have quite the pressure in there.
Just more than I needed to know.
The next thing I know, I get an anatomy lesson.
Only if you put value in it.
I used to have a house that did that once.
Well,
It's nasty, isn't it?
Father kicked it out of the house.
Oh, that's a shame.
He became a garden cat. He would sneak in my window and sleep with me at night. But anyway,
Gotta love cats.
I suppose we better thank Mr. Rictivo for his time. While you're having this conversation, he's clambered back up on top of the wagon, and he's looking back on the hatch again. You hear him whisper as he starts to close it over.
I'm still thinking we should listen in on what he's saying.
Definitely.
You can try.
I should hear it now.
Alright! Because you're all so close to the wagon, while Zabornik is giving you this little lecture, you can very clearly hear his voice. Alright, Fluffles, it's time to sleep. I'll see you in the morning. He closes over the hatch and hops down.
Lovely name.
Huh?
Well then,
No. He seems to like it. Well then, gentlemen, ladies, if you don't need me anymore, I'm going to go. Goodbye.
And my apologies for the rough treatment, but I like to make sure that nature's children are taken well care of.
Yes, well, perhaps we'll get off onto a better foot tomorrow. He kind of sweeps off his hat and gives a very theatrical bow, and then turns and wanders out of the stockyard.
Zabornik gives a nod and a shrug.
well, so what do we do now? I think the general store's closed.
I thought a little bit of sleep.
Well, yeah. Let's head back to the inn. I still need a little bit of rest, despite Siegbald being kind enough to fix me up.
Yes, that does sound like a good idea. I am a little worried about those people in the square, though. Do you think they'll be alright?
Yeah.
There's plenty of guards around, I'm sure, but anything too bad to happen to them?
I suppose we could just, drop by and have a quick look.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds like trouble to me. Well, yeah, we could just check on them. I believe it's down this road here.
If you want to. And do you want to drop by?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Just
drop by.
listen in a little bit while we walk past.
Okay.
Yeah,
You head
just take a little stroll.
to the town square.
Yeah.
He's not there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, great. Beefcake's still there.
Perhaps
Not that I can see.
if discretion might be in order.
That's a good idea.
You're very gingerly heading down, trying not to draw attention to yourself as you head down the market. You notice that the large man you saw earlier on, he's no longer there. But there are still a number of guards floating around the square.
Yeah. You want to ask him or I ask him?
I think I'll try first.
Alright.
I'm just going to tap the guard on the shoulder gently.
What do you want?
I'm just curious about these poor fellows up here.
Oh. Well, they're dealing for their crimes.
And what crimes were they?
Malicious unhappiness. They're
I
trying to bring
can't-
down the morale of the town. Can't have that.
Can't say I've heard of bringing the happiness of a town down being a particularly egregious crime before.
The guard kind of looks you up and down. This other guard glances
He's
over
the-
and then goes back to trying to fend off the small children. Well, obviously,
He's not from around here.
Oh no, we're passing through.
Well, then I don't see how this is any of your concern.
We were just curious.
Besides, it would help us to know what to avoid doing as well.
Well then, they were trying to disrupt the last festival, the Wolves Head Jamboree.
Oh?
By being unhappy?
I tell you, wasn't that good then?
They were trying to disrupt the festivities. That's all you need to know.
Oh.
The Baron wasn't
Because
happy.
I was going to say, when I say the say was not good, I was trying to make a joke with him.
Better
You look over
ideas
this
to
guard.
not.
He has no sense of humor. You can tell that from here.
Yeah,
He doesn't look
just,
happy to be at this detail. You can see that there's a small red stain on his lapel. Alright, as you glance over the stain, you realise there's a small seed in there, and you recognise that. It appears to be a part of a tomato.
take a little bit of a splashback, perhaps?
You could say that.
So when exactly is this new festival going to be happening?
But I think it's 2 days from now.
Because I'd be very interested in seeing it.
That's good to hear. Perhaps you want to take part. We do need more sticks. If you want to gather that and load that over to the Baron's mansion, that will be a help.
Certainly, how many sticks would you require?
No. everyone's required to bring around a big bundle.
I certainly could probably manage that.
I'm sure the Baron will be very grateful. And if any of your party, he glances over towards Arena and Zorbarnak, have any sewing skills, you could help with the costumes for the little ones. Talk to the Baroness about that.
So what would the costume, the sewing come under? Would it be Dex?
He's asking out of character.
Out of character,
Alright.
I would say yeah. Probably.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sleight of hand could also work.
Yeah, you could use sleight
Because
of hand, depending on the
because
creature.
it's the nimbleness of the fingers.
That's true. Okay. Just asking for future reference.
Now then, if you're quite done, you think you should move along?
Yes, I think that might be a good idea.
Alright.
Oh, you couldn't give us directions to the Baron's place, would you?
Oh, yeah, if you just head back up that way. And as he points, just a red explosion scatters over his helmet. It's like, I warned you! And this little boy starts to run away. That little shit! And they run off.
I guess not. I guess the whole malicious unhappiness crime isn't exactly popular.
I never trust guards with swaffers are installed.
Little bastard. See, he's like kind of stopped over here. He's trying to get the parts of the tomato off his face and all, but he's just smearing it and under his helmet and getting it trapped in his beard. He's like, little fucker. And these kids are laughing. And as they laugh, he just kind of turns and tries to cuff them over the head, but they scatter.
So I can see
We'll be having fun.
I don't think we'll use that line of logic with our friend.
No, I don't think that'd be a good idea. I'm just going to have a quick word. Let's do a stealth check.
Don't get in trouble. That's my job.
Yeah, go to...
Hold on. No, okay then. So this guy is too distracted trying to get the juice and all out of his eyes. He's kind of got himself tangled up in his helmet. This guy seems to be too preoccupied watching the kid struggle in the guard's hand further on down the street.
Yeah, I'm just going to go to this lad here and ask, what exactly did you do to disrupt the festival?
Oh, who's there?
Don't worry, I'm a friend.
What's it got to do with you? I ain't incriminating myself. I didn't do nothing wrong.
1 second, Damn. Look, we're trying to find out what's going on.
Look, I know you're one of Isaac's lackeys. I ain't talking. I
Trust
told
me, I
him
know.
everything I need to tell him.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, we're going to move over to here, talk to her, and ask her the same question.
What are you doing? Get away before the gods see you. And as you're doing this, you notice this woman's donkey head is kind of half off her head, and there's a small child who's basically feeding her chunks of bread.
Fair enough, I'll leave you two to it. Come.
He's my
Don't
run,
worry.
run. Little kid
Alright.
wanders off.
Sounds good. Scuttle back down here.
My deception was, by the way, used to distract the guard, keep the guard distracted.
He was more than well distracted, but I just want to point out, if you distracted him, he would have turned round and looked at the steps, so he would have seen Alan coming back down. Then you didn't catch my attention for that.
Well,
That would have had him just looking up at the stocks.
that better?
He's just circling the guard now.
Doing a little dance all around him, maybe.
Yeah, entertaining the kids.
Idle it, then.
Alright. You're
Nah.
deciding to try and keep his attention, but you've managed to step on a bit of tomato that he has frucked out of the ground, and you slip,
Ow.
and you just fall right on your buttocks, and the small children start to giggle at you.
Well, at least everyone's entertained, eh?
Just go back if your accordion playing.
Perhaps
That was
a career
my
performance
father's
is not for
accordion.
you.
Oh,
Damn it.
that's a rather large rat.
Ignore the rat.
Anyway, I think performance might be my thing, but I need to work on. I need to find my stride. You should have heard me playing You should have heard me playing the piano. That's something
Enough is
that
enough.
I've been
Off you
going
go.
to do.
Of course.
Come on.
Good evening.
Just
Have a grand rest of the evening, and hope no one bothers you.
You can only hope.
I don't like this.
Shush.
See the... I wonder what they
Not
want to
while
do
we're
to find out what they did.
No, I wasn't able to persuade them. Still, at least there's someone helping them at least. They're not starving, that's for certain.
Still, I think our best bet of learning what the heck is going on might actually be the Baron, as much as I know it sounds like a crazy man's idea.
Because he's going to tell us the truth.
Well,
We might be able to find out the truth even if he's not.
Well, I'm certain with a little bit of a nobleman's persuasion, he might be able to tell us more.
If not, I still got the pommel on my longsword. I can knock him out, and then we put him down to the river or something.
every
That's
day
true.
just
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
a great
looks at
idea.
you. Says, I don't think that's wise. It's not even true.
Neither do I.
She looks
trust me.
around to see if any of the guards are nearby and says, I don't think that's something we want to really joke about. Not here.
Nah.
If they're putting people in the stomachs for whatever
God
it
knows
is they're
what.
done, I'd hesitate to think what they'll do to us if we joke about killing the Baron.
I wasn't joking about killing him. I was talking about taking the garbage out.
I don't will come to that.
Well,
Alright. So, you return to the Blue Water Inn. Siegbald.
Siegbald's. Looks like
I thought I
everyone.
saw him.
Well, I for one think we should get a room for the night.
Yeah. We should probably get it at least. Yeah, he's probably. Or he might have retired to his own chamber.
Barmaid.
He has a name, you know.
Yes, but shocking barmaid has so much more atmosphere, you know. Anyway, you have.
Sorry, Dolan, I wasn't really paying attention there. What were you say?
Neither was I.
You, Danica, you. In your line of work, you certainly hear about all kinds of scuttlebutt that goes on in town, don't you?
I hear bits and pieces.
Do you happen to have, any idea what's up with all those people being punished in public?
Oh, yeah, those poor souls. They, just kind of looks around and leans in. They got a little bit rowdy at the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Started mouthing off to the Baron. It didn't end well for them.
Yeah, we could see that.
What exactly is their punishment? How long is this going to keep going on?
I think he gave them 2 days, so tomorrow at noon they should be out.
Alright. Glad to hear that it's limited time at least.
Well, unfortunately, time limit seems subjective whenever Isaac's concerned.
I see. Bit of a mercurial one, isn't he?
Mercurial? Does that mean he's an arsehole? Then yeah.
Yeah, I like the way you took that. I see we're on the same wavelength here.
Tanaka just kind of looks over to Reister. This one talks real funny, like.
Don't worry. She's old, and she uses fancy talk to make everyone believe that she's wise.
Sounds
That
like
is
my
true.
father-in-law. All right. So, what? He's having some food. He's going to bed. What he's doing?
I'd like a small salad if you have one.
Chan looks at you and blinks.
Anything like greens?
Edge clippings.
See what I can do.
Thank
else?
you.
I think stew and ale.
I think I'll have that as well, please.
Yeah, me too. And we should probably talk about bed and board.
That too.
Well, you did pay for 3 days.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I thought my memory was giving out.
Look, when you fall on the ground with people jumping your back, sometimes you'll get a little bit dizzy.
I came in
Yeah,
at the
that's
wrong
my
part of that
excuse, too.
conversation. Anyway, it'll be out in a bit.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Here's your drinks. Sets
Thank you.
down 4 ales. And she leans in. Don't be starting trouble with those guys in the stocks. They'll be alright. But if you try and get them out, Baron will send Isaac after you, and you don't want that. Alright?
Right.
Loud and clear.
Wonder what Siegbald's doing. Probably running after the two of our friends.
The dwarven companion said he was going out looking for the other two. Don't know if he's coming back anytime soon.
Hopefully.
Might actually be taking his time.
He said not to worry and to go on ahead if need be.
Well, we'll have to leave him a note here if we move on.
I can arrange that for you.
That would be very kind.
Alright. After a few moments of silence, Danica just goes off to doing her own thing. Yes, you see a big man wearing furs leave the bar, stumbling as he goes.
I assume he's going off home.
Considering how late it's getting, you would say, yeah, he probably has. Aaron comes down, he's got a big tray just balanced on one hand, and he starts setting down these huge steaming pots of stew. And then a little plate of what looks like lettuce and some chopped up carrot, and a few shreds of chicken in front of Zabornik.
Excellent, thank you. I'll have most of that.
Thing we got. So, enjoy. And he heads back in.
Certainly.
So, how'd you call me? I must have misheard you. Oh, don't worry about it. I thought you said hang on, Aaron. Alright.
Irina, would you like some chicken?
Sure.
Okay, you can have that. I'll eat the rest.
Alright. So,
I'm not big on protein, you see.
That's the point. Irina, didn't the blacksmith tell you your shield will be ready tomorrow? The day after tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I believe, yeah.
Tomorrow.
Am I still... It still will be tomorrow.
I'm just thinking you probably need someone to show you how to use a shield.
Well,
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Oh, so I've already said that you're my apprentice once. Might as well teach you.
Yes, you claimed I was, what, your squire?
Apprentice.
Close enough.
Well, it is the truth. It is the truth. I will be teaching you how to use a shield.
I
Well-
appreciate that. But what is our plan now?
our plan right now is to... At the very least, we should probably be looking if our friend if Siegbald at least comes back, and then we should probably head to the Wizard of Wines. Wizard of Wine, sorry. After all, that's where fate leads us in a way.
Is that where you want to go tomorrow?
I have no idea. I have no reason to go there. First of all, we should probably stick here tomorrow, so you get your training in how to use the shield, get used to its weight and everything.
Plus the festival's supposed to be tomorrow, isn't it?
No, the day after tomorrow.
Day after, right, sorry.
The day after tomorrow. And you seemed interested in speaking to the Baron.
Yes, this... I don't know, there's just something I want to check.
What do you have in mind?
Well, I'm still not entirely certain about this, putting people in the stocks business, but...
We should probably keep it a little bit down low. And I point to the drunkard over here.
He's just kind of slumped over the table at this point.
Yeah, still, you don't want stuff to be heard by people who would not appreciate it.
Well, those other broadcasting modules said it quite reasonably quietly.
Fair enough. Still, walls sometimes have ears. You'll learn that in my profession.
And so do barkeepers. She's just kind of settled on a stool at the end and appears to be eating her own bowl of stew.
Still. Like I say, if we just appeal to his ego, we might get somewhere.
I'm not-
Lords.
Well,
Getting some from royalty is always bad news.
Trust me, I'm used to people like him.
well, maybe we can at least set him straight.
I've known plenty of them, but I never got used to any of them.
I've had my fair share running into one.
Irina is going to roll insight on that to see if you're telling the truth. $16. Have you been hanging out with royalty, Zabornik?
Occasionally. Most of the time I try to avoid them. And there was a time in my youth when... Well... I'm sort of a nomad for a reason. I was in the family business for a while, if you will. Was not a good time.
Fair enough.
I was having a similar fate. There are places I could no longer go.
What did you do?
I did actually nothing. But I was someone claimed that I had stolen from the Baron back home. Being a half-elf in a human environment, a human city, you kind of stick out like a sore thumb,
So
even
you're
if you are.
falsely accused?
Yeah. I'll let it well on past.
I wish my accusations had been false.
Well, at least you apparently did a good service on those people.
I just think what they were accusing you of.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how to take you anymore.
Sir Alan, given what we have learned of adultery,
Quite possibly.
Well,
Oh no, I'm not ashamed of that part.
if I lost count after she started talking about her 7th husband.
Hey, now, they weren't technically husbands, and I didn't get married as such, only by some rights.
It's what we call common law.
well, the law when it is applied to commoners, it's not necessarily always that easy.
Few people have ever called me common.
I don't think you quite know what common law means.
Irina just kind of leans over and whispers to Sirlane. And she was calling Ez names for being promiscuous.
Well,
I was never judging, I was just conspiring.
No, in this case, common law means husband, but not officially.
I suppose there were a few men that I could stand to be around for a while. Ooh, some of them. Anyway. Yeah, I don't like to think back to my youth in the port town and the family business, and they had an import-export business, if you will, and it was not what I thought it would be.
Fair enough.
let me guess. Importing, exporting services.
Services, goods, and a lot of bads, too.
Bads.
Yes, the kind of goods that no lawman or healer would want in a town.
Oh. So your family could have done business with my... no, that wouldn't work.
Sounds like the dream pastries.
A little bit like that. You see, when I was very young, I started to get into healing, and one of my uncles got wind of that, and he figured he could use a healer in his organization and, go to the family, and you know how it is with family, that how you can turn against them. It would be wrong. It's family this, family that. And before you know it, you get told whom to heal and whom not to heal, and whom to make better and whom to make worse. And then one day you say no, and next thing you know, you're on the road under a different name. It's a whole thing.
Wait, you're not talking about George?
I have no idea what you're talking about now.
I don't get the feeling I have a most stable home life, and I spent most of mine in the monastery.
Well, I spent most of my life on the street as well, so that's that. I've heard of someone named George who had something that sounds remarkably like what you talked about, but it's probably just coincidence.
I suppose. Curious, though.
Yes, it's most curious. Maybe they got the inspiration from that member of your family.
Who knows?
Yes.
Anyway, ever since I'm trying to be on the right side of, well, not law, but on the right side of justice.
Same, actually.
That's fair enough.
The law and justice often don't coincide, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
I can only really speak where I'm from, but
Well, I think we've all thoroughly depressed ourselves.
Well,
see for yourself.
if you want to be depressed, I could tell you the story of my family, but then again, that'd be no fun.
One origin at a time, right?
Yeah. No one wants to listen about this of the tale of John Willows, who was my father.
Perhaps another night. It is getting rather late.
Yes, we should probably prepare for the night.
So then, have we made any decisions about where we're going tomorrow?
I think first thing tomorrow, we're getting our items from the blacksmith.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Very well.
And then maybe we look for a quiet little place and teach you how to utilize your new tools.
I can see that being useful, I suppose.
Zwonek? I know.
Yes.
Would you mind coming?
Okay, fine.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting, but okay.
You can sit on your bed now, soon.
Right.
Alright, who takes which bedroom? We have changed. Our group setup has changed a little bit.
Boys in one little room, girls in the other?
Think that's a 4-bedroom and 2-bedroom, double bedrooms. Yeah. Or we could. I don't think it would be nice to sleep all 4 in 1 bedroom. Oh, we could do that.
Decency, young man.
I was just about to say that.
Alright. I just want to make certain that nothing bad happens.
That's not happening.
Quickly, in here. I found something.
What?
What?
Is it?
What is it there?
Irina points to a slip of paper on the bed here, in front of Zabornak.
Let's have a quick look.
Somebody read that, please. I don't have my reading glasses on.
It's from Ovak.
Let's have a quick read.
Okay. The gist of the letter is basically Ez has gotten drunk and is raving her head off about getting revenge. I'm going to make sure she doesn't hurt herself. If we're not back soon, go ahead. We'll catch up.
Alright.
Just hope they're gonna be okay.
The things are gone too.
Yeah. I hope they don't.
No, they say not to worry about them, so they should be fine.
Well, Ovak knows how to hold her own, and Ez is a capable fighter. I just hope she isn't foolish enough to try and run over to the castle.
I shouldn't do anything like that.
Suppose she wouldn't.
I'd hate to lose the little pyromaniac.
Yeah.
What are you trying to see, Reister?
I was just reacting to Sir Lane's deception. But the original one I completely failed. I believe he's thinking, hey, they won't be hurting themselves. Even though it's clear that he's thinking they will be hurting themselves.
See, Irina's chewing her nails nervously. Are you sure?
I'd say fairly sure, yes.
Is there anything else we can do anyway?
Probably not. They weren't.
They left, unfortunately.
Well, the last time we saw them was first thing this morning, so they could have a day ahead of us.
Yeah,
Very
they could
much.
be. They could be anywhere.
At least we know how far they could not be.
Well, I suppose they're. If they're smart, they're already at the monastery.
And Denanka
Hopefully.
did say that Siegbald went off to find them.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll meet up with them further down the road.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, we'll be here another day, maybe a day and a half. We'll discuss it later if we don't see them again. But I can't help but be a little worried about them.
Same.
Can't say I'm too happy to see them go.
But they should be alright.
You said that.
I suppose I'll see you in the morning then.
Indeed.
Mind if I do a little preparation on the door? Just
Sure.
in case someone. I'm going to set up a little trap with string and the bell that I tried out earlier.
Okay.
Setting it up on the door, basically the doorknob. As soon as the door opens, it should ring.
Did you tell the others you were going to do this, or did you just do it subtly outside?
I mean, I just told them basically.
Alright. So you
No,
told
right now. Yes. Just in case someone decides to take a walk in or out of your room. Zbornak, Arena. I'm going to set up something we talked earlier today at the general store.
Alright.
Little bit of security.
Secure ahead. I would be surprised if anybody made it through the door while I'm leaning against it, though.
You'd be surprised how many people are asleep, because
Well,
I just what?
Irina kind of looks at you with concern in her eyes. Is there something you want to tell us?
No, I'm just preferring the state of better safe than sorry.
Alright.
So I set up my ringing trap. How would that work?
Essentially, if someone tries to get in there, they were going to have to do a perception check. I would say, as you're just using a standard string and bell, it would be a relatively medium AC. If
Yeah, I'm not trying to disguise it too much.
So you're trying to make it. Are you trying to make it obvious, or just?
No, I'm not trying to make it obvious. But I'm not trying my hardest to hide it either. So, if you look for it,
it would be a standard tripwire then.
yeah,
All right.
exactly.
So you've set that up then.
All right. Good night. And with that, I retire to the men's room, the men's bedroom.
You
Don't piss in there.
about it.
Pardon?
Says you corrected yourself before I could make a joke, but Zbornak went right for it.
Yeah.
Alright. So, you make preparations to go to sleep. Zerlane, you spot your little companion.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the dresser.
Okay, Squeaky, it's bedtime.
Shall someone keep an eye open for the first bit of the night?
Okay. As you look over, you see the tiny form of Squeaky just kind of sitting on Zerlane's chest, watching the door.
Alright, Squeaky, if anything happens, just wake him up, okay? Alright.
Okay.
What a catchy apparition.
Alrighty then. So let's have a little check. Okay. So then, you wake the next morning, and there doesn't seem to be much different, except Squeaky is now on the pillow.
I check the morning. Just go and check the tripwire, just in case I have been sleeping a little too heavy.
You check the string, and you notice it's not quite the way it was left last night, but it hasn't been tripped.
Oh, oops. Missed. Sorry, ignore that.
Huh. Why are you trying to find traps when I told you it's there?
You don't know.
Silly
I'm
one.
all to click the wrong things.
As you're looking over that, you hear a door open across the way. You see the young Brom watching you.
Morning?
Morning.
He gives a
Good
shy little
morning.
wave and starts to move slowly down the balcony while still keeping an eye on you over his shoulder. Okay, let's see how. Let's try it again. There we are. You notice he is not too subtly glancing at the bell, and there's a weird little smile across his face as he turns and hurries down the stairs.
You little... Okay. Need to be more subtle about it. Note to self. Hide them better.
It might be an idea.
Yeah. Or maybe install a second tripwire that is so up that you see overlook the other. Well, let me just remove this thing.
So your plan is to tripwire the bell trap with a second bell trap.
No, I'm going to place a string that looks like it's going to trigger the bell. I'm trying to conceal the bell basically a little bit better, and set up a second trap that will misdirect from the other. It's like using a second sole in your shoe. That way you can hide something under it.
Vonik, are you awake?
Yeah. I'm very awake. I've been awake for hours.
I doubt that. But come on.
Always. Always starting the old. So typical.
To be fair, you do tell some tall tales, Bonik, and you was snoring 5 minutes ago.
I was clearing my airways.
We'll go
Oh, morning.
Rise and shine, Zbornak. Rise and shine.
Same to you.
Because you made that sound any more like a fuck you.
Only with great difficulty.
Probably.
Well then, I suppose we'll grab something quick to eat and then head out.
Yes, we should probably be heading to the blacksmith sooner than later.
For the sake of brevity.
Whoop.
Because it could be Archview's do roleplay coming down the fucking stairs. Seeing as there was no conversation going on.
Yeah.
You enter in, you notice Dananka is looking pretty tired, rubbing her face, and the gentleman in the corner is still slumped over his table. It looks like he's
Something bothering you? Something bothering you, Danica?
Just tired. I could have swore I heard a bell at some point last night, but no. There's nothing.
Yeah. Your kids are rather smart.
What did they do?
They were trying to play a little prank. Nothing more.
Look, if they broke anything...
No. They didn't break anything. But you should keep make certain that Bron doesn't untie your shoelaces while you're looking away.
She kind of holds her boot out, and you can see it's just a slip-on boot. There's a reason for this. But yeah, I'll talk to him. You should know by now not to begin messing around with guest things. He didn't go into your room, did he?
I don't think he did, no.
Alright.
I just noticed that he was toying around with a little string that I had tied around something.
Alright. Well, I'm sorry about that. I'll talk to him.
Maybe he'll have a future in this kind of business. Untying people.
Anyway.
We
make
need
yourselves
that. It's not
comfy.
the healthy.
I'll send you out your breakfast. Bron,
Thank you.
You little...
No violence with kids, please.
Just as violent.
Alright, Orton comes out, says, so he was caught playing with your things again, eh? Sorry about that. You've warned him not to mess with guests. So, here you go. He sets down a stew in front of Reister, Sir Alan, and Rena, and a plate piled with lettuce and a few chopped up bits of apple.
Thank you very much. You're very attentive.
Yeah, well, seems you didn't like the chicken last night, so I reckon that will do a bit better. Well then, enjoy.
Good man. Good man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, first things, the blacksmith, let's say. And we probably should... Sorry, what?
That sounds about right, if you want to do that.
Well, I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's after all, you need your equipment, don't you?
That is true.
Siegbald, while eating Zabornik, also prepares a spell slot today.
Okay. Alright then. So,
Is it just me, or is this a little bit gamey? This too.
well, it's wolf meat. What do you expect? Dana calls across the room as she's trying to help this gentleman wake up.
I think the mug with the cold water is still around. If you want to try that. Though you should probably rig up something. I would even lend him the string.
Nah, he'll be alright. He does this more often than not.
Alright.
He'll wake up in a little bit. Sozar will come and get
Yes.
him.
Yes, he'll wake up and then he'll order and then he'll sleep again.
Maybe they'll decide to go hunting today. I don't know.
Must have gone pretty well if he's able to sleep his way out. Sleep today.
Alright.
That's
Anyway.
true. That's true enough.
She's kind of
Anyway.
gives a weird little shrug and goes back to start organising things over here.
Anyway, as I said, we should probably head. I did see you out there.
See nothing, the door's closed.
Well, I could see him through the gaps in the door there, just for a split second.
Alright, so then. You just take some time to wake yourselves up, eat your meals, drink your milk. Zabornik mutters to herself as she tries to think what spells she'll need.
Some traps.
And Arena finally stands and stretches. Well, shall we get on?
I suppose so. Strahd, you ready?
Okay, now I am.
All right.
Okay. Just head outside. And you spot the gentleman from the bar the night before. He's kind of leaning against this pillar and smoking a pipe.
Morning.
He just kind of nods at you.
Morning. Your friend's still in there. If you were looking for him.
He had a bit much last night. He tried to keep up. He didn't work.
Well, remind me to never hold a tournament or drinks with you, sir.
Only if you want to lose your coin.
Well, at my consciousness. I value my cook. Though it's a nice sleep.
He just kind of gives a shrug and goes back to his pipe.
And wait, we must be good.
Alright. Alright. So, let's head back out into the morning air. And you see the people roaming the streets with their forced smiles. You see a number of people wandering about with sorry, excuse me, with bundles of sticks under their arms. And they seem to be
Yeah, we should probably be getting to that as well. And figure out what's going on with those sticks. I have a feeling it's nothing that we like. Again, just call it a hunch.
Do you want to ask someone, or
Uh,
are you rolling
Morris.
Constitution?
I have a horrible thought. Morris dances.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I'm trying to see if our friends there out here on the street.
Alright. You don't see him near the inn, but as you walk a little further down the, if I go to the map layer, that might help. As you walk a little bit further down, you notice him leaning against an apple cart around here. He's just kind of munching on an apple, looking around. He meets your eye and gives you a curt nod.
Morning.
Alright, mate?
What's with this festival of the blazing sun?
I haven't the bulliest. Looks like another festival he's pulled out of his ass. He likes his festivals.
Yeah, but what there's talk about needing to bring sticks in costume for wee ones.
Yeah, he's talking about dressing up the little ones, parading through the town, and then burning something. I don't know.
Something or someone.
Oh, someone. Fuck, no, we don't do that. We think we are fucking savages, Jesus.
Now, I'm not saying
Isaac, on the other hand, maybe, but nah.
if you're blaming someone, you might be blaming people in town. Not that that's a good idea, because that makes people not want to be happy, and then you have to put them in the stocks.
Yeah, well, in-persons. They'll get out a little bit later on.
Yeah, still. Not necessarily the greatest thing.
I do recall some festivals involve burning effigies, so...
Yeah. Well, they're setting up this scaffold over in the park. It looks like a big circle to me.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Now, he's never done anything to harm people, look. It goes against his what do you call it? His
ethos.
Yeah, alright, we'll go with that. We'll go with that word, that works.
Yeah. Alright, here, have 3 silver just for your aid.
This is why
Friend.
I like talking to you. He quickly palms away the silver and tucks it into his coat. And goes back to eating his apple.
It's been nice talking to you. See you around.
Maybe. Okay. He's head on down the town. Down the main road. Again, you see a number of young men carrying bundles of sticks. A few of them talking about going out into the woods. A few of them talking about what's going on. You see guards roaming the streets. But other than that, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Except for the odd, forced smiles that you have unconsciously plastered onto your own face at this stage.
Yeah, I plastered it consciously at the beginning.
These arrive back at the stockyard. What do you do?
I say go up to the blacksmith.
Alright.
Yeah.
You head back to the blacksmiths at the back of the lot, and you hear the telltale ringing and slamming of hot metal being hammered. You notice the older man, with his wrinkled arms, just kind of sitting at the front of the shop. He's running a cloth over something that you can't quite see from this angle.
Morning!
You're back!
Morning to you.
Yeah, good. I'll have to say, he holds up your sword. He's brought back a lot of memories. I enjoyed working on that. There you are. He hands over your sword.
Thank you very much.
Now, we're just doing a few more finishing touches on your shield. That'll be ready in a little bit. But, yeah, give that a little try out. I've set up a little dummy over there if you want to give it a smash. He points over to what appears to be just 2 sticks, a sack of flour with a bucket with a crudely painted face on it.
Good old Roland.
Well, I was calling him Dunny, but okay.
Well, I've been told it's called a Roland. Don't ask me why.
Well, to each their own.
Probably because it makes sounds.
Probably because it reminds me of my cousin. He was called Roland, so...
Well, I can't say I ever had a cousin called. Then again, many cousins I don't know.
Fair point. How about the helmet?
Oh, yeah. 2 seconds. He ducks into the shop a little bit and comes out, and he brings out the helmet. You can see there's a few places where the detail is not as good as it was because he had to file that away. But he did rebuild a few bits of the features, and it's had it polished, so now it doesn't look rusted, but it doesn't look pristine either.
Perfect.
There you go. Try my best on that, but I can only do so much.
It's more than enough.
Glad you enjoy that.
Why don't you just give this one a little whack?
Alright, roll to attack the dummy.
Hang on. Wait, it's no longer worn. It's no longer worn. No, just a short sword.
Alright. So, you line up with the little dummy, and you go for a thrust. The sack is not as heavy as you thought it was, and your sword is a lot sharper than you remember it was.
Whoops.
And you go straight through it. As
Well-
little bits of grain start to slither out of the bag. Behind you, the blacksmith chuckles.
It's good as almost as good as new.
I should hope so. I spent a few hours sharpening that last night.
Yes, but I can clearly appreciate the great work you've done. I twist and turn the blade to see the edge, actually.
The edge is very well honed.
That should do it.
Yeah, just look after that, and it might just look after you.
I'm fairly certain it does.
Refurbished.
Yes, it's been refurbished. It's no longer gently used, it's now refurbished. It's like a refurbished cartridge for a video game console.
Alright. So he glances over
Refurbished bestseller.
and sees Arena and goes, alright, just hold on that 2 seconds. And you hear him go back into the shop and he shouts a few things at his son. His son responds. Yeah, the old man swear, and then he comes out with... It's not a pristine shield. You can tell that this is... Well, it was, at one point, a door, but it's been cut down and has had sheets of metal battered around it and riveted into place. It looks presentable, but it won't be winning any competitions in beauty at the minute. So he hands it over to Arena, and you can see she kind of misjudged the weight, and it drops a few inches before she picks it up again, and kind of runs her arm through it, through the straps, and starts moving her arm around. That is rather heavy. I warned you.
It's a tower shield technique.
Yeah.
It's about as heavy as a tower. If you could strap one to your arm, that is.
She kind of looks at you with this face of, that was a terrible pun.
I'm gonna loot
I
my
look guilty.
I'm gonna loot my arm at my own shield and ask to try it on.
Alright. She hands it over to you. It isn't so much a tower shield as it's like a quarter of a door. So it would be kind of like a kite shield, just slightly shorter. So it would
put me
nicely cover your torso.
I'm just testing it on my arm.
Alright. It's not as well crafted as your shield, but it will do in a pinch.
Well, certainly. It's a good shield.
Especially for someone who's never built a shield in his life.
Well, I have, he hasn't, but I have the strength for it, so I'm afraid that's the best I could do for you.
Well, it's very much appreciated. It's for a first attempt, it's very fine.
Well, Maybe if we put some paint on it, it'll look even.
Yeah, you're welcome to do that yourself. I ain't got no artistic skills apart from metal.
Yeah, I think that should be fair. That should be good.
There's only so much you can do with a shield you didn't grow yourself.
I'll just pass it back to Irina.
He kind of looks at you as you say you didn't grow yourself, and it's like, well,
She's got homegrown armor.
Yep. Ah, natural.
I just, fuck. I was gonna say I could just picture Zabornik turning his butt towards her and knocking on it, but there, you just fucking did it. You can like eyes up your shell. I could make lovely things out of that.
Yeah, but she's kind of used to it. Kind of stuck in it.
Let's just say if anything happens to her, let me know.
When I was younger, an artisan took hold of it once. I hear he made decorations out of it.
Are you referring to tortoiseshell balls?
Well, I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Well,
Alright.
so Irina, do you want to go and have it a little bit more decorated?
I don't really see that's necessary.
Alright.
Besides,
Just
where would
saying.
we even go to for that?
We would probably do the painting ourselves and get the paint at the general store.
There's always a toy maker.
Oh, that person, yeah.
He's a weird one, but he does good work.
I don't trust toy makers. Before you know it, you're getting these chattering teeth after you, and when you pick them up, they explode.
What kind of toy makers have you encountered?
Bad ones!
Sounds like you've run into some kind of prankster. Or a
Maybe.
joker maybe. I don't know.
Shush you.
Anyway, we should probably find ourselves a nice place out of town to grab ourselves some sticks, seeing that we will be in town tomorrow.
Good idea.
Right. Oh, Maria turns to the blacksmith. Thank you for this. He nods. Let me know if you need any other work done. It was fun working on weapons again.
I think right now there's no need, unfortunately.
Yeah, well. Give it some time. More wolves coming around. Who knows what will happen.
Well, let's just hope that trade comes back into town even more. Trade's always good.
Yeah, that's true. You see, he just kind of scratches his little scraggly beard and turns and saunters back into the blacksmith's house with a wave to the four of you.
Well, shall we head out into the woods grabbing a few sticks? Trying to find a bundle and wait, by the way, where are we supposed to bring those?
I believe he pointed. Because we did ask for directions.
Yes, he pointed, but then he was hit with the tomato.
He said the Burrowmasker's mansion. He pointed somewhere off to the west, and then he got distracted.
Western.
Yeah. Pineapple.
West.
Right.
Yeah, it was a little bit confusing. We should probably ask someone else who's, or follow a few of these people with the bundles.
That is a very good idea.
Alright. Shall we head out to the woods so that we are no threat to anyone while you're learning how to use your shield, Arena?
I suppose that makes sense. Okay. She picks up the shield again, and you notice there's actually a large leather strap that runs from the peak down to the bottom that she can throw over her shoulder, and that's what she does. So now she has the shield on her back.
At least you thought of convenience. That's a very good thing.
This is good to get getting used to.
You get used to it eventually.
Ah, you're gonna love it. It's great to have a shield on your back. So much comfort.
I'm not a shield person myself.
Makes you feel so much more secure.
But then again, I should probably get a little bit of a... now we should be able to do with a little bit of a tree branch. So you learn how to parry, how to defend against attacks. Don't want to ruin it after all. The shield, I mean.
I suppose that sounds like a good idea. Well then, lead on.
I suppose we take look around and think that over there's a path probably leading out.
Well, you see a path, but you're not sure where it goes.
Well, it looks like it's a little bit more secluded at the very least.
Okay.
So even if we don't leave the town, at least we're not in the middle of everyone.
Alright. As you go through these houses, ducking beside the excuse me, ducking between the blacksmiths, you do spot Father Lucian. He gives you a brief wave and heads in over to the coffin makers as you make your way outside. You see a path continuing further on over towards some crossroads in the west. The woods are to the south, and the road you originally came in on is to the east.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
Well,
So go south.
yeah. Need to grab a good tree branch in order to teach you a little bit about how to use your shield properly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go south sooner or later anyway. We might as well.
Yes, and ultimately we'll go west because we all want to go back home.
Okay.
So go home east.
So you
Yeah,
head.
yeah, but we're heading west in order to get to the monastery. I mean,
Give me a moment to set things up.
yeah, let me grab a tree branch. By the way, have we handed back the mallets?
I don't know we did.
Mallets?
Mallets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, from the carpenter. I don't think he's dead.
Could just say for convenience sake we just dropped him.
Yeah, we just put them back on the work table as we left.
Okay. We'll see.
I just saw that I still had it in my inventory.
Okay. So, you head out into the woods. You travel for a little while outside the town. You just come across this little clearing.
I'm looking for a tree branch that would work as a substitute for a sword.
Okay. You have a little wander around, and you see here on the underneath the tree, there's a few fallen branches. 2 or 3 of them do look sturdy enough to practice with.
Right. I grab one and hand the other one to Sterling.
Okay.
The one, after all, has her shillelagh.
Indeed.
Arena
No,
lifts
it's not a shillelagh, it's just a staff right now. She needs to cast Shaman Ding Dong on it.
She equips her shield and kind of looks around you at you all coming toward her with sticks, and you hear her mutter under her breath, "This may not have been a good idea."
First off, which arm's your strong arm?
I was taught to fence with my right arm.
Right, well, keep your shield on your left.
Right.
Now, the important thing is when blocking with a shield, don't try to take the impact. Try and deflect it.
Don't go cock. I gently tap the front. Go sharp. Putting it to the side and sliding it off the shield. On range.
Whoops, ignore that. I was trying to edit her armor class. Because she now has 17 armor.
Great.
And remember, the trick is you always follow up. When you deflect, you bring your sword towards them.
Alright. This is a little different from fencing, but I suppose I can figure it out.
It's fairly... I'd probably say it's a bit easier than fencing.
Alright. So, do you want to spar with Arena for a little bit?
Yep.
Okay.
I'd say so.
Well then, roll your attacks. Roll just straight d20s because you're all technically using improvised weapons.
I was saying.
Well,
I just drop it instantly.
oh my god.
So,
Oh my god.
oh my god. You take turns, basically running her through her paces. Sir Elaine manages to get past her shield a few times, giving her some painful whacks on her knuckles and on her knee. But she learned from his attacks and was able to fend off both Zabornik and Reister's attempts.
Not that we were extremely good at it.
Alright,
I'm
so
going to do that.
your staff is now somewhere over here.
Well, you're certainly getting there.
Well, that's good. She's completely knackered. Her hair is starting to frizz out with the sweat, and she's puffing with exertion, but she looks rather pleased with herself.
As long as you keep practicing, you should be able to master it pretty soon.
Unlike some of us.
What do you mean? Has anyone does anyone remember what cart it was that drove over me?
I think
Now it was the Mario Kart.
Who is Mario?
He makes pizza.
What is pizza?
It's like a
flatbread.
Yes.
That I understand.
It's
That I
Cleric.
understand.
Don't question it.
Yeah. It's like she's speaking into another dimension or something. Into a different.
No, it's just bread that people make hot and other people get angry when they put pineapple on it.
I have no idea what you mean.
I've had some experience, but
But why would you get angry over pineapples?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
right, that's what I'm saying.
Anyway, we should probably
Well, I do
gather
have to
some.
agree that those are a little bit nasty when they're warmed up.
Hello?
As you
Where are
stand
you coming
around,
from?
you spot a gentleman wearing road leathers and a cape has just stepped out from behind this tree. And he glances around you. You seem to be a little bit far out from the town. Is Aunt
So that
in trouble, are you?
Because he'll be able to investigate to see if he's a ranger or not.
Sure. Roll perception.
Oh, perception, sorry. 1 second. Damn.
Or investigation works as well.
Okay.
You see that this fellow, he has a rather wicked-looking blade on his belt, and there is a crossbow held lightly in his hand. It's currently pointed halfway between the ground and your grip. He's looking over you, over your party, with an odd sneer on his face.
I'm going to roll perception to see if he's alone.
Roll it. Alright, give me a sec. Okay. So, as you glance around, you notice leaves moving in a tree over here. You see rustling in a tree over here. And then you hear a sharp crack as this man falls out of the tree. He rolled a nat 1.
Fair enough.
Good morning, sir.
He's now prone on the floor. This one and this one, they don't know they've been spotted yet. He's like, He's like, oh, Jerry, we talked about. You know what? Never mind. So,
So Barnacus got to nudge the others and to very subtly point towards the hidden ones.
You, seem to be a little bit far out from town.
As are indeed you.
Well, it's our job to be out here. It's very dangerous for people who don't know these woods to be about. How about we help you back to town?
Did you know that it's also very dangerous for people who don't know whom they're messing with?
I think you better turn that phrase on round yourself there, darling.
Yeah, you would think that.
Yeah, so things with the two-fang variety.
He just kind of turns and grins at you. What can I say? It's a dangerous world. You have to be a little bit dangerous to survive yourself.
Killing vampires, perhaps.
I've not had the pleasure of that, but I've killed an oversized wolf or two.
Well,
Child's play.
You haven't seen many werewolves, have you, darling?
I've seen a few.
I wasn't talking to you, Short Pint.
So, what's your deal?
I'm just offering a service. You gentlemen don't look like you're right prepared to go trouncing around these woods. And I dare say a lady of that calibre could do with a little bit of escorting. He kind of glances over to his friend and grins. This boy chuckles.
And what about your friends?
Well, let's just say there's safety in numbers. He kind of clicks his fingers. And this boy hops down. This boy is on the wrong layer. I put him on the map layer by accident. This boy hops down and comes closer.
Ah, scenery!
And this boy hops down. He rolled a nat 20, you wouldn't have seen him.
Well,
Well done.
So, we could help you get back to town for a nominal fee. Or we could just leave you here and take that fee.
Here we go. Here we go.
I have your fee right here.
Oh,
The Barnacle holds up a claw, but since she doesn't have 5 fingers, nobody really knows what she means.
Okay, Reister, what are you gonna say when you're intimidating?
I don't think it'll work, but
Alright, see, here's the thing. See, for intimidation, you're only gonna have to say what you want to say and then roll.
Ah.
Okay? So, we'll go from that then. So say what you want to say.
you don't want to. You guys don't want to mess with us, because if you do, you'll have to go home back to mommy and cry. Don't want you to do that.
Oh, darling. You assume my mummy gives a fuck about me. Nah. Why don't you just stay right where you are? He points his crossbow at you, Celine.
Right now, there's about 5 feet between us. You have a friend to my left, a friend further to the south, and 2 of your friends are behind me, along with 3 of my friends. Can you fire your crossbow before I can raise my shield and smash it into your face?
Well, the thing is, darling, you might be able to reach me. That's fair enough. You'll give me a little bit of a bloody nose, but then
I'll slice your head off your shoulders!
you're still gonna turn into a quiver.
I like my odds.
I'm sure you do. So, why don't you back up, drop what you got, and then we'll see about letting you go home.
I'm gonna throw.
What are you gonna do?
Throw Squeaky. Throw a dagger at his throat.
Whoa!
For attack?
That escalated.
That escalated quickly. Yeah.
You rolled 12. Okay.
He didn't.
It seems that he was waiting for you to make a move, and as you threw your dagger, he dodged it, and Squeaky is now lodged in a tree over here.
Right. Can I try and dash through the shield?
Nope, that was your surprise round. It is now
Damn.
time to roll initiative.
Initiative.
Alright.
What is it showing? I just selected myself.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh well. That'll do.
I rolled a 7, by the way.
Okay. You mean what? This is what the random dice generator gave me, I'm afraid.
That's what you're saying.
It totally is. I had to roll how many bandits there were, and I got the maximum number of bandits.
Well,
Okay.
Maximum bandits.
okay.
And you got a 7, Zabornik?
Yep.
Okay. And is everybody on there?
All right.
Yep.
Yes, unless you have more than 5 bandits. Yes.
Alrighty then. So, Sir Lane, you get to go first. What are you gonna
Right. First off,
do? Ooh.
we're going to advance and use my use longsword one-handed.
Alright. That hits.
Okay, so it's first my attack. It's 1 slashing, and then 2d8. So that's 12 damage.
Oof. Alright then. So 12 damage in total. Okay.
Yep.
So, you stride forward. He turns round with a grin in his face. It wavers slightly as you're now a lot closer than he expected. He raises his arms up to his friends. His friends start lifting their crossbows, but before he can shout, you make good on your promise and you bring your sword up with a heavy slash, and his head rolls from his shoulders.
I'm going to look at the others now and say, do any of you bastards want this?
They all just kind of snarl at you.
I was like, I'm going to try and... Damn.
No.
Were you aiming that at a specific one? You can only intimidate one.
Aimed it at blue.
Blue, okay. What's his thing? Okay, he steps back a little bit, but lifts his crossbow and points it at you.
Right. Will I be able to ready my shield?
You can.
Okay, I ready my shield just in case he tries to fire at me.
Okay. First up is Green. Let's see, who's Green gonna go for? Oh, there goes my D4.
Since the rest hasn't yet made a move, Sir Elaine might still be his main target.
Okay. Never mind. He's startled by the sudden movement of Sir Elaine and his friend suddenly losing his head and... Oh, for fuck's sake. Let me just get this going. Okay, so he's startled. He ends up pulling the trigger before he brings the crossbow to bear, and he manages to shoot himself in the leg. He howls and falls to the ground, holding his leg. His turn.
Nice shot, Mr. Sprinkler.
Fuck you.
Well, you're not the red guy.
Alright, next up is Orange. So again, who's he going
Aren't
for?
you let?
No.
He's going to go for the closest person, which is Zabornik. He rolls a 12.
Oh, that's not enough.
Nope.
Alright, Zabornik, you grin at him as his bolt deflects off your shell and rustles.
Would you like to try that one again, young man?
He kind of growls at you and backs away a step and starts to reload. Next up, he's dead.
It's dead guy. Next up, me.
It is Reista.
Well, whom should I go for? Whom should I go? Oh, purple people eater.
That song's been in my head for the last couple of days.
Is he? He's probably trailing his crossbow on Sir Elaine.
His crossbow's up, and it is currently pointed to Sir Elaine, yes.
Yes, okay. Then I should be able to use sneak attack on him as well.
You could.
Okay, I'm using my short bow, which should offer that 10. It's probably not good enough.
Misses, I'm afraid.
Alright.
You line up
This
your
one-
shot, but it goes wide and sails over his shoulder.
Consider this a warning shot. Now, back off.
Alright, alright. He kind of wavers, but he still has the crossbow pointed at Sir Alan. Okay. Next up is Arena.
Well,
She's going to charge forward. Let's try that again. There we are. She's going to attack with her rapier. She misses. This boy deftly dodges out of the way. Next up is Blue Guy, and he's gonna shoot Sir Lane. 14.
Okay, my AC is 18.
If your AC were 7, I would be surprised.
No, it is at 17.
Lodges in your shield. Zabornik.
Yes. Zabornik is going to use what is it? Produce flame.
Oh.
And her hand ablaze, she's just going to do a little bit of a baseball motion and throw at Greenie because he seems to be the most immediate danger to someone right now.
Okay, a 20 does hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's dodging away from Irina, and he gives her a confident little smirk and gives her a little kissy face. Alright, darling. And before she can even come up with a retort, he's suddenly on fire. He squeals as he pulls his burning cloak off and throws it down onto the ground. Or at least, he attempts to. Instead, he gets tangled in the cloak as the fire engulfs his head, and he collapses to the ground.
I was going to say, how many rounds does Smite last?
I think it is 1.
1. Oh.
Irina, dear, could you put him out? I don't want a forest fire.
Alright. She stamps on the cloak, which is also his head.
Thank you.
Did I waste Smite?
Possibly.
To be
Damn.
fair, you only did 1 damage to him, so
Oh,
the
fair
rest
enough.
killed him instantly, so there you go.
Oh,
Okay. Alright, so it is Purple's turn. Purple is going to aim for Reister because Reister tried to attack him.
Plus, I shouted at him.
You did. He misses.
So rude.
These bandits suck!
How about you turn and go back home? After all, you've seen what can happen to your friends.
He's not saying anything, he's just backing away and reloading his crossbow.
Oh. Bad decision, my friend. Bad decision.
Sir Lane, it is your go.
I'm going to slowly walk to Blue. You know, I'm going to try and intimidate him as I walk. Just, you know, through body language.
Nope.
Alright.
And then I just... Then I just swing,
laughing.
then I just swing for his neck again.
Roll severity. First off,
Oh,
that.
crap. No, sorry. Okay, 100? Where is it? Sorry. Damn.
I'm picturing that intimidation walk as Spider-Man stands from Spider-Man 3.
Alright, so you roll your shoulders, you brace your shield, and you start to walk with your longsword pointed to the ground. And you try to walk with as wide a pace as possible to give yourself as much presence as possible to intimidate this boy. But as you step
Sir
forward,
Lane.
you step on a bit of mud and stumble slightly. And now your fist is burning with embarrassment, going like, nobody fucking saw it. And then you swipe with your longsword. 14 does hit.
Okay.
Okay, you manage to slice him across the chest for that amount of damage. Alright. Are you doing anything else?
Is really anything else I can do? Really? Keep advancing on him.
Okay, he's dead. It's his turn. So who's he gonna go for? He's gonna try and hit Zabornik again because she just toasted one of his friends.
Fair. Oh, yep, that hits.
Yeah, that hits. Okay. He hits you for 6 piercing damage. And he
Okay.
backs away into the woods, reloading his crossbow.
Ow.
I'm just Jason Voorheesing it at this point.
Okay. Okay, that's his move. Reister,
Yes.
here's your go.
Look, this is your last chance. Run while you can. To purple.
Alright. Let's see if this makes him stupid.
Oh. Give me
Okay.
for net one.
Okay. Alright, okay. Oh, alright. Okay. Alright, so you lift up your short bow and point it at him with a drawn arrow and give your warning. He glances around the he glances around the clearing, and not only does he throw down his crossbow, you can see there's now a wet stain appearing in his trousers as he backs away from his crossbow.
Good, I'm glad we could come to an understanding. I keep my crossbow, I keep my bow trailed on him just in case he suddenly thinks he's...
And flees into the woods.
Alright, alright. Now what about the orange guy? Next, no? Oh.
Rita is going to go and try and help out Cyrillane with a rapier. That hits. And 7 piercing damage. Alright. So, she comes up and uses her shield just to bash away his defending arm and just thrusts her rapier into your chest. Cyrillane,
Ow.
you feel a slight swell of pride as you had taught her this move not an hour beforehand. As the bandit gasps, grabs at the rapier, and then slumps to the ground.
What?
Why are you trying to save Constitution?
It's I've got to go in the background.
Alright.
I'll explain it later.
Alright.
Okay.
Irina looks a little shocked that she managed to pull this off. And that's him, he's dead. Zabornik.
Yes, Zabornik, I think the guy's a little bit too far away, but Zabornik is going to start advancing towards him and walk over here from. And on the way, she's going to pick up a large branch that's on the ground and just start eating it.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll for intimidation there. Also, she makes sure that you can see the inside of her. What she does.
Alright. Whoops, wrong one. Try again. Nope. He sees your Snarlack throat, and he just goes, it's not worth it. And he flees into the woods.
Good choice. I'm glad at least these two saw the light.
And at last I see the light.
I will go pick up a squeak.
Alright.
Well then.
You do that. Anyone in need of a crossbow or two? Or 3 or 4? Or maybe even 5?
I suppose it's handy to have one on hand. Irina
I already have my regular bow.
picks one up from this man.
And I think he's getting close, so
May as well not let it go to waste, right?
Well, we could use some of the bolts they still have and use them as sticks.
Oops.
Hmm.
That was a mistake.
Plus, we pick up a few more.
Okay.
Well, I pick up a crossbow to sell.
Alright.
Alright. Between the
Yeah,
bandits, you rummage around them and you come across a grand total of, that was in that one, of 18 bolts between the dead and the dropped ones. So you have 18 bolts between you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Irina is going to tuck one of those into her inventory.
Good thing that bandits are compostable.
yes. They can be used to make new fertile ground. Oh, starting to sound like someone who's of the much less friendly persuasion. Sorry about that.
Well, they did attack us. I don't know what they expected
Yeah.
to happen. They
Well,
had a time before they met someone who could fight back.
Yeah. Still, it's never fun having to kill people.
Roll
Not really
perception.
gratifying, though.
Actually, let's do this instead. Okay. You notice that Irina has turned away from everyone, but she is looking distinctly green around the neck, and you can see the telltale.
Oh, yeah,
heat in
that
her
was the
shoulders.
first one, wasn't it?
Look. Let's go. Let's get away from.
I was going to say, how long is the hair on the? How long is Red's hair?
Red's hair is probably about shoulder length.
Right.
Irina just like holds up her hands and like, yeah, I'm
I'm sort of examining his head at the moment.
Why are you looking at that person at that head? Why are you trying to figure out if it's someone you know?
Hang on a second.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, it's nothing. It is. I just throw it.
Really, nothing. Alright. I mean, you've listened to my story, so shouldn't question you.
We should probably find some sticks.
Yes, that's what I was going to do, but then these individuals decided to come out.
Just need to slip away for a few seconds.
Sticks,
Alright.
eh? Way ahead of you.
Guys, not for eating.
I know, just I'm playing the quality.
Yeah, but we should probably be looking for dry ones.
Yeah, or
Not the juicy kind that are probably better to eat.
it depends on if I'm in the mood for something crunchy.
I'll catch up with you in a moment. Oh god.
Volnek, do you have anything to help her with the
I figured a little bit of yeah. This should be a pretty good remedy.
And Zabonic hands her a little mixture of spices that she can inhale to calm her stomach.
Okay. Yeah, she just keels over and vomits.
Okay, it doesn't always work perfectly.
And that's why homeopathy doesn't always work, kids.
Actually, there we go.
Thank you.
Okay. So you just have a little run around and see what you can find.
Yes.
I'm just trying to... Why aren't you working? Why aren't you working?
You need me to see 6?
What are you
Or
trying
do
to
you
do?
need me to... Do you need us to see the 6 using perception or what? Or nature?
I would say no. You could... You're in a forest. It's not that hard to find, what do you call it?
Sticks, stones, twigs, twiglets.
Yeah.
Yeah, twig. No model from the 19 what have yous.
Okay. Jeremiah was trying to do my generator for stuff. So now, let's see. Nope. Okay. Irina goes over and starts to try and search the bandits, but she doesn't get very far before she starts retching again and has to move away from them.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you. Oh god.
Alright.
It's fine, it's fine. It takes a while to get used to.
Okay, Reister.
May as well.
Yeah, investigation, yeah, I should have done that.
Okay. Zabornik, you pick through this guy's pockets and you find one or two little hidden pouches around his cloak and belt, and you come across a total of 11 gold.
Nice.
And you find a hidden dagger in his shoe.
Well,
Kind of have enough daggers.
Reister, you look over these two and you notice that Red, who was obviously the leader, has a little bit better gear than the others. His breastplate is proper hardened leather armor, and that is salvageable. You also notice a very interesting looking ring on his finger. It appears to be gold with a deep blue gem and a few tiny runes running around the band. And you also find 11 gold pieces in his pouch.
well,
Would I be able to identify the runes?
You can have a look.
Okay, investigation?
be my guest.
I would say roll Arcana.
Oh, Arcana, okay.
Those are runes that are used to attach an enchantment.
Well, whatever this ring is, it's enchanted, that's for certain. Can't quite say what it is, though.
It clearly wasn't a ring of luck. You know how quickly he went down.
That's true.
Okay, so between all of them, you have picked up your gold pieces. You found the ring, and the bandit leader did have a very good set of leather armor.
I already have a set of leather armor.
Zabornik is going to distribute the gold and hands out 3 each.
Okay. I would say take the armor to sell it.
Yeah.
After all, it's not been damaged, so...
Alright, yeah, let's take it. Maybe the tradesman can use it. Oh, that's heavy. Whew. Alright.
I think it's time we got out of here.
Yes.
We can gather a few more sticks on the way back.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, I want to stop by the general store now.
Indeed.
Alright.
Maybe he can even identify what kind of enchantment is on the ring, though. Doubt it. It's hardly what you'd find in a community like this.
Who knows? Maybe he knows who that originally belonged to.
No, that I would rather ask our friend.
Okay. So, you head back north. Back towards the village. You've drifted a little bit further west than you were intending, but you break the tree line and you find yourselves within sight of the road.
I
Okay. Do you wish to head back the way you came, or head further west to another gate?
I'd say. Hello.
Sorry?
Okay. Alright. As you approach the gate, the guards eye you up and down. He sees your weapons have been recently used, and there's some splatterings of blood on you. They step forward and hold up their hands. What's going on here?
Oh, we just hit around running with the local criminals. Some people try to take our goods off our bags.
Yes, they lost their heads.
We had to defend ourselves.
They lost their heads and ran away.
Yes.
Okay. The first guard kind of nods and the other one went, I'm sure they did. Alright. Don't start any trouble. Keep those blades where they are. And they open up the gate for you.
Of course. Never intending to do any harm in town.
Okay.
What do you say, general store?
I'd say general store.
Alright.
Okay. Please head back to the general store. I can't remember the name of the people who are in here.
Neither can I. But I'm fairly certain that the owner is busy with his wife, thinking about caramel.
Yeah, Jim and Ethel. Jim and Ethel.
Dave?
You come back in the store, and you notice the older gentleman who you've been speaking to the day before is now leaning on the counter. There is a piece of parchment in his hand, and he's running his finger down it, and he appears to be doing a little bit of mental math.
Afternoon.
It's you guys. Alright.
Yes, we're actually wondering if we could offload some merchandise to you.
I suppose. Come on in. What have you got?
I place the crossbow down in front of him.
The light crossbow?
Yep.
Let's have a look. Well, I suppose I could sell this on to the hunters. I'll give you 15 gold for it.
Sold.
Alright.
And I recently acquired this fine set of leather armor.
Let's have a look at it.
I put it on the counter, lay it out, so you can see it.
I have a feeling this was in use until recently.
Well, the owner unfortunately has no longer any use for it. Bit of a long story.
Put simply, he couldn't see himself getting ahead in his career.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
He kind of stares at you blankly and blinks a few times and then goes back to examining the leather. I'll say... I'll give you 6 gold for it.
6 gold?
That's what I said.
Is he shortchanging me?
You can tell it's... Let's actually see. What's his deception?
I mean, if he's trying to deceive me...
You get the impression that he wouldn't be able to turn much of a profit on it if he took any more. If he gave you any more for it.
Alright, 6 gold.
Alright. Anything else?
Nothing that I can think of. Oh, yes.
But maybe you could help us with a little trinket we acquired from the same gentleman.
Trinket. Let's have a look.
It's a little ring. Maybe you could tell us what kind of enchantment you might find on something like this.
Let's have a look. So he takes the ring and he starts looking it over. And I need to look it up because I forgot what it was. Okay. He kind of turns it over in his hands. He says, "Look, I'm not much in the magical persuasion of things, but I could take it off your hands for maybe 50 gold."
I'd rather hang on to it. Maybe it's something that could come in hand. Could come in handy. But I clearly appreciate it, and I hand him 1 gold piece. So at least for that service, I pay him.
Oh, you need magical items. Maybe Father Lucian could tell you a little bit more about it.
That's a very good idea.
But other than that, I don't know much more magic folk around here who could help you with it.
By the way, I couldn't help but notice that you were looking at this piece of parchment. Anything the matter?
Do you want to try and see what it is?
I wouldn't mind.
Alright, roll a perception to see if you can lean over and see what it is.
That would be funny.
It's a Zabornik's caramel recipe. He was basically trying to think out a shopping list in his head.
Speaking of Zabornik,
I would like to make a few purchases, please.
What are you after?
Do you have any nails here?
Nails? As in for carpentry?
Yes.
Might do. Hold on.
I mean, otherwise we might be able to ask the local carpenter,
I just need a handful of iron nails. They have to be iron, though.
Okay. So he rummages around the back and he turns out, comes back to you and says, "Nah, I've no nails."
That's alright. I could also, do you have any bitumen here?
Bits of human? What?
No, bitumen. It's probably you don't. It's a sealant. It's also good for some.
You mean tar?
Yes, she's talking about tar.
Yes, if you want to know that.
Talk to the blacksmith, he might have some.
Okay, next up on my list, some tallow.
Tallow? Oh yeah, we got that. Over there, back shelf.
Excellent. I'll take 1 package, small one, not much, like 50 grams.
Okay, you're making me look up all the costs of this now.
Orange Falcon. As you got it.
And also I want a pineapple and some pizza and
Pineapple chunks.
All right then. So, he basically points you over to shelves where there is tallow, but it's sold in jars, and it looks to be like a pound of tallow in a jar.
If it has to be a pound, I'll take a pound.
It's 4 silver pieces for that.
All right. And do you maybe have some seeds here?
Oh, I think we have some grain seeds.
Any legumes?
what?
Like beans?
Beans. Yeah. Back corner. Big sack.
All right, I'll take one of those too.
Alright. There is just a large sack of dried beans that is currently open. And there's like a small wooden scoop in there.
She takes a small scoop. Just, in a baggie.
4 silver.
I might actually need a few small belts if you have them.
Bell.
Yes.
I don't have anything fancy, I don't think.
They don't have to be fancy. They just need to ring.
Let me have a think. Okay. He rummages around in his, under his counter there, and he pulls up a small brass bell. And it tinkles musically as he sets it on the counter.
That might be a little bit too quiet, unfortunately, for my purpose.
Well, he lifts it and just rings it properly, and it does let out a loud thing, a loud noise.
All right, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that might actually useful. You only got that one, or do you have any more? I would like to have a few more.
I might have another. Hang on. Okay. Oh, excuse me. He looks under the counter. You hear him moving things around. You hear something topple and roll away. Just going. He's like, fuck. And he pops up with another 2. So he has 3 in total.
All right, that seems to be exactly the amount I need. How much do you want for them?
2 gold each.
2 gold each. That's 3. That means you get 6 gold. All right.
Alright.
There you go.
Lovely. He counts up the gold and slips it into his purse.
Okay, just saying I'm giving everyone 4 gold pieces.
Okay.
Okay.
Splitting up your take.
Yeah, I've already taken my 3.
Okay. I have lost Arena. There she is. And you gave her 4. That many. Okay. Do you need anything else while you're in the shop?
Not that I can think of.
Alright.
While you're frittering around with your inventory, Arena plucks 5 bolts from your little stash and tucks them into her own pack, along with her claimed light crossbow. I think we're done here. Did you say you needed other things?
Yeah. Gonna pick up some nails on it. Some.
I'm just saying, we should go to either to the blacksmith or the carpenter might have some nails.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure I can find some.
Well, the carpenter did have a crate full, and he does maybe owe us a favour.
Yeah. Should have thought of that sooner, but well, yeah.
She shrugs and gives you a mischievous little grin.
Well, I'm fairly certain you can spare a handful. Or 2.
Yes, that's going to last me for weeks.
Do you use them to chew on them, or what are they used for?
Oh, spare components.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You see, we have the British persuasion to have to prepare some spells sometimes in the mornings, and then you have to put some materials into the thing. You saw what I did at the dinner table this morning. That stuff.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
like
magic. I don't fully understand it.
with Ovek's cat?
Yes,
It's
that
similar,
sort of
yes.
thing.
Well, it's different to Squeakshanker. By the way, how's the little fellow?
He's okay.
Still dead, I presume.
I think I'd be the first to know if he wasn't.
Okay.
Zabornak, roll a quick perception check.
Percy.
You notice something odd in the crook of your neck, and you can't quite look down and see what it is.
You guys, is there something on my neck?
Let me see.
Reister, you glance just into the lip of Zabornak's shell, and you see Squeakshanker curled up against her, between her shell and her neck.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a house guest, a spiritual house guest.
Oh, it's the skull rat. Okay.
It's the Scarlet. Taking a nap back there.
Well, I don't stop taking care of animals just because they're dead, so that's fine.
Yeah. Think they've taken a little bit of a liking to you.
I'd say so.
Anyone warm is comfortable, I suppose.
Alright.
Well, plus you have your shell. That's a large protection.
Indeed it is.
So, I take it you's done here then?
Yes, thank you, my good man.
Thank you
Alright.
very much.
I intend to when I get a chance to make it. Alright. See you later. And
See you soon.
as you head out the door.
Well,
He's now standing in the storeyard.
let's head to the carpenter / coffin maker.
Alright. And you head across there. It's a good thing I didn't archive that map yet. Yeah. Okay. You arrive at the coffin makers.
We should probably go to the front door and knock. Or we could knock here.
Hold on a sec. Still setting things up. Should have done this before what he's in. Okay, okay. I am prepared. I am a prepared DM. I know what I'm doing. Alright. So, you knock at the door and you hear slight footsteps coming as the door is opened and you see Henrik.
Hello, young man.
Oh, look, I didn't do anything else.
No, it's great. We're just checking in on you. Everything okay by now? And you have more unwelcome visitors? Apart from us, I suppose?
No one like that. Why don't you, come in, I suppose?
Yeah, we won't be long. Just, dropping in for a bit.
Okay. He backs away from the door, and he beckons you into the next room. And I just need to open that door for you. Boop.
Okay.
Ah, Father.
Yeah, as you head in, you see Father Lucian is already here with a cup of tea.
Oh, Father Lucian, so good to see you.
Ah, my friends. Welcome. I was just speaking with Henrik here.
Yes.
Did you find everything in proper order here?
Yes, well, Henrik was a little bit distraught, but we had a word with him. We've carried out a blessing of the house. We disposed of the things upstairs.
Yes.
I think he'll be able to sleep safely in his own home again.
That
Wonderful.
is very good to hear.
Oh, I was wondering, Henry, could I maybe borrow a cup of nails?
A cup of nails?
A cup, a handful, a satchel, just some nails. I find myself in need of nails.
I suppose I could spare some. Just give me a moment. He just kind of ages around you.
Thank you so much, young man.
I'll be back in a moment. And you hear him moving up the stairs and the floorboards creaking from up high. Is that all that brings you here, my friends? Father Lucian looks around you.
Well, to be honest, we were going to come to visit you next.
Oh? How can I help?
Well, I was wondering if you happen to be able to tell us the enchantment on this ring.
A ring?
Yes, we got that ring from someone who wasn't too keen on.
Let me put it this way. Sometimes you are approached by people who want to take things from you, and then they're not very good at it, and you end up taking things from them. You know how it is.
Yes, he ended up being a little bit.
The priest looks a little bit concerned as he looks around your group. You attacked in town?
No,
I'll explain to you in a moment, Father. I need to have a quick word with you.
Of course. How can I help?
Would you mind just, I'm just leaning over to where the door is.
Yes, of course.
It's kind of a bit. Okay, 1 second.
He goes through the door.
Alright. So, Father, whilst we were out gathering some wood for. You know how the Baron's planning his little soiree and.
Yes, that.
I hope you'll treat this in confidence. We were attacked by bandits, and I lost my control.
You
Father.
move up a little bit.
it was very secretive because you turned into a robot.
Alright. Father, the bandit leader, the second he started threatening us, I put simply, his head went one way, his body went the other.
Well,
I won't spare you.
did you do this out of rage or out of need to protect your friends?
It was rage. Ever
That is
since.
a dangerous thing.
Exactly. Ever since an incident we had with some children in the Barovian village, since we began our mission here, I felt my anger growing. I don't know if it is just this land or something else.
This land is cursed, I'm afraid. It does tend to bring out the worst in some men. But you have an advantage. You know that things are wrong. And that is the first step to addressing it. You may need to take this in confidence with your friends, but if you mean to bottle this up, it may consume you.
That's why I'm concerned. Since we discovered what happened in the Barovian village to the children, The gas
Then what happened to the children?
wanted their parents sacrificed to Strahd.
Don't
And since that,
say his name.
I know, ever since then I wanted nothing more than to, end his miserable existence.
A noble goal, but if you lose yourself to rage, you'll only become a puppet.
Exactly. I will have to tell the others.
Perhaps a discussion with them is worthwhile, but just remember your faith. Remember why you fight. You fight to protect, not just to kill.
Indeed. Thank you, Father. And I apologize for concerning you.
Oh, of course not. Anytime you need to speak. That is why I'm here.
Thank you.
And as you finish, Henrik kind of peeks his head out the door. He looks between you and the priest. Is like, should I not have overheard something?
No, it's alright.
Father Lucian and Henrik follow you back into the room. Henrik walks over and he hands you a pound bag of nails.
Oh, that's so generous of you. Thank you so much.
I'm glad I could help. Now then,
You have more than you thought.
I have a crate upstairs, a literal crate.
I know.
Yeah, we've seen it. After all, we opened it to see whether or not there are still unwanted visitors.
Still, nails are not free for anyone, so I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
I get a good bulk price. Okay. Father Lucian claps his hands and looks around the room and says, now then, you wanted me to look at something.
Oh, yes, you will.
Yes.
Then, let us see.
I hand the ring over to Father Lucian.
He kind of turns it over on his fingers, wiping some grime off it to look at the runes. And you see a little arcane flash flicker over his eyes. Huh. Interesting. Well, what you have here is a ring of water walking.
A ring of water. Ah.
That gives me an idea.
If you
Yes,
wear this, you
sir.
should be able to walk across any liquid surface as if it were ground.
Is it not true that vampires cannot touch running water?
Well, it hurts them, yes.
I see.
Well, that would make things even more interesting. Because that would mean a certain the individual we took it from might have been in need of such a.
Well, it looks to be an old trinket. You could see it's a bit battered and worn, so God knows how old it is, or where he came across it. I
Oh.
assume this came from your friend who
Several.
lost his head. He looks over
Yes,
at you.
Yes.
he ran around like a headless chicken.
Oh, stop it with the parents. This is not even...
Zvonek.
Yes.
You're usually the one with the puns.
I just need a little bit of air.
Well, anyway, yes, it's the friend that's,
It's a bandit. Come on, let's say that.
If it was a bandit, God knows where he stole it from. But there you go. He holds the ring out in his hand for one of you to take it.
Zvonek's a natural with water.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna need this. Spells right for one of yours.
As far as I know, I'm no vampire, so...
No,
I'll
Sterling.
hang on to it.
Sterling, you hang on to it? Alright. Alright.
It is now on your character sheet. There you go.
Okay.
So, there you are. We'll just
Alright,
shoot
sorry,
it.
yeah.
Everybody. So, that will now be listed under your magical items section.
Okay. I've got most of the magical items so far.
Well, I still have my alchemist fire.
That's true.
That is true.
And I have the stale silk handkerchief and a very decrepit cultist robe. Though that's not magical, that's just a piece of rotting fabric.
Okay, so then. I assume you slip this ring on your finger.
Yep.
It doesn't
Take off my
require
gauntlet.
attunement.
Sorry, I was saying take off the gauntlet, put it on.
Okay. It looks a little bit big to go on your finger, but as you put it on, it seems to fit around it snugly.
Oh, that's precious.
Seems it might adjust itself to its wearer.
Well,
Magical weapons have a tendency to do that.
well, it's not a weapon necessarily.
Well then, is there anything else we can do for you, gentlemen? And of course, milady.
Not that I can think of.
I'm afraid there's nothing you can do for me right now.
Very well. Well, if you'll excuse me and Henrik have a few things we need to discuss.
I'm going to check on Irina, see if she's doing okay.
I have a few things I need to talk to you all about.
Okay. Move Becky outside. There we go. Okay. So, you head back outside.
Okay. I'm just going to look around and see if anyone can hear us. Everyone, you've probably noticed, but I've not quite been myself for the past few days.
Perhaps we'd better move around here if you want to speak privately.
Yes, that'd be it.
So we're a little bit further around. Smolnik, you're invited as well.
Alright, I'm just gonna pause you there 2 seconds. I really need to run to the bathroom. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll just leave the chat on the capable pause of Lucy.
So, how's everybody doing in the chat today?
I'm doing fine. I got a PHP last week.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm planning to get a monster manual at some point this week as well, so hopefully when I finally get my finger out and write this one shot I'm thinking of doing, I'll be able to populate it. Because I can't spoil it too much, but I was thinking that Rice's sister Gift 7 shows up in it as an NPC. Like
Well, she might, the character might not actually be his sister, but the thing is his sister, the character in your story, your one shot might not actually be his sister. I mean, lots and lots of people in his family are using other names, assumed names, which is why he was so confused
fair enough.
about the name, because she still writes to him under her original name.
Fair enough.
So some of them write to each other with their original names. Some write, like, for example, his brother David write under the assumed name. That is, if they ever write at all.
Fair enough. Just like I was asking before, I just wanted to clarify in case. Well, I'm just going to call her Gift 7 and not give her a last name, so.
You can call her Willows if you want to.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry for the break.
Welcome back.
I mean, I would have, if you hadn't returned, I would have started telling the story of how Rice's situation got to be where it is, reading straight from his bio and info page.
Ooh. Alright then. So, Sir Elaine has
Right.
called the group around the corner.
Everyone, as you've probably noticed, I've not really been myself these last few days. In fact, I took someone's head off for a start.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit odd.
That was a little bit unusual, but sometimes you need to do things.
Yes. As you know, at certain points in their lives, paladins have to take an oath. I took the oath of devotion. But one thing I've always been concerned about is slipping into the oath of vengeance. And I fear I may be beginning to slightly drift into that.
Oh, vengeance is something that I know well, unfortunately.
Not
It's
really.
no, definitely not.
All I'll ask is that you try and stop me in case I go too far again.
What?
I will keep an eye on you.
Well, technically you did just do this to defend us from
I
him,
know,
even though you spoke out in anger.
I know, but still, it's a slippery road and it's not one I particularly want to follow.
Well then, if you're ever just feeling that way again, let us know and we'll try and help.
I'll do so.
She
Thank
sets
you.
a hand on your shoulder and smiles at you.
They say it's... I pledge my life to a certain path. That's to try and be a source of good to everyone. I really don't want to follow the other path.
I understand that well.
Well, a lot of paths intertwine.
Still,
Perhaps
Yes.
this one will diverge again and you can stay on the one you want to.
I hope so.
And sometimes we don't get to truly choose our path. Unfortunately.
The gods and goddesses work in mysterious ways.
Yeah. Still. Anyway.
I feel we should probably hand you down a little bundle.
Yeah, probably.
Where though?
Well, first we should probably find a guard to tell us where the Baron's house is.
I suppose
Yeah,
that
probably.
seems to be the logical
Oh.
situation.
Or we just find someone who is carrying a bundle of sticks and follow them.
That probably works better.
True. Let's just hope they're not a suspicious sort.
Well, if they think we're suspicious, we can always say, look, we're new around town. We can always explain ourselves.
Honesty, a refreshing approach.
Well, I am a paladin.
Well, and I'm a rogue, so
And I think we'll call it there for this evening.
Yep.
yeah, seeing that it's close to midnight over at your place.
So then, play the game.
Actually, Sir Alan taking the hat off.
Yeah.
You only have 11 health. Your smite just literally smote him.
Smoking but good.
That's like the poem. You want to kill if you want to fight, if you want to class all this stuff, right? Better take all the play, keep the goblins, right? Because you get the idea. Hey,
Fumble of the game?
It wasn't.
We didn't really have it.
I've
Okay, yeah, the accordion. Yeah, the accordion. Fumble of the game.
Considering one of the NPCs stopped you physically from playing, yeah.
Yeah. Just makes me think about Reddit's Stimpy bit where Stimpy's played it on the play Kumbaya on the
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Jambalaya.
Look, it's Rice's father's old.
I want to know where the fuck you've been
accordion.
carrying that.
Uh,
Those accordions are heavy and bulky.
apparently he conjured it up out of thin air.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's like a
multiple
little.
scenarios as a DM.
Yeah.
No, because I'm pretty sure you can get like like one of those small ones.
Yeah, you can. I know what you mean, like little hand-sized ones.
Yeah, little hand-sized one.
Yeah.
Would make sense for a sailor to carry a full-size one, wouldn't it?
Well, you never know.
You would find.
If he's on a ship.
He followed the toon tradition and put it from right behind his back.
Yeah, right. I pulled it from Hammer's face.
Now, I'm just going to shamelessly cater to my audience for a moment and pet the cat.
You know that?
Ah.
So, any new discoveries or anything you want to ponder over?
Not really anything I can think of, really.
Interesting how far we are going, getting away from the main mission right now.
Irina's having fun.
I think it's just kind of help people have a bit of light-heartedness at this point before things go very downhill.
Yeah.
Light-hearted decapitations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Relatively light-hearted.
Fun for all the family.
Oh my god. Alright, so I think we'll leave that there and we will come back to this next week where it looks like our group is gonna go and talk to the Burgomaster. And we'll see you guys.
The Baron.
Well, same thing.
Yes. He likes
Burgomaster calling himself the Baron.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then,
He's the Baron Master.
I'll see you guys next week.
He's the Burger King.
So it's going to be a goodbye from me, a good night from Creature.
Good night.
Okay. Good night from Dirkork.
Good night.
And a good night from Sephi.
Tatty bye, loves.
Tatty bye. And now I'm going to eat a muffin. Good night.
No.
Night.